drivers had one opportunity to win the championship for this 2009 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series season. At the season's end in Homestead, Florida, that driver, Jimmie Johnson, made history, becoming the only driver to win 4 consecutive NASCAR Sprint Cup Series championships. And tonight, the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada, and inside the fabulous Wynn Hotel, Jimmie Johnson and the top 10 drivers will receive their awards and their honors. We're welcoming you inside the Wynn Hotel. It's a very special red carpet evening. Everyone dressed in their finest for what is truly a historic evening as the 2009 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Awards ceremony comes to you live from the Wynn Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, after many years at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York City. Good evening, everybody. I'm Steve Burns. Glad you're with us here on Speed. It's a privilege and an honor to be with you on this very special occasion. With me tonight is Jeff Hammond. Now, Wayne Newton and Celine Dion were booked, so you get Steve and Jeff. But in any case, it is a privilege. Jeff, you have been a part of this for so many years. Prior to 1981, NASCAR celebrated in Daytona Beach. You were in Daytona, New York City at the Waldorf Astoria, and tonight, welcome to Las Vegas.
Well, I really do appreciate it. It's so exciting to be here because, again, you mentioned the fact I was around in the early days at the Plaza Hotel celebrating with Cale Yarborough and Junior Johnson during his reign as far as 3 championships in a row, and a part of Junior Johnson's organization. When we went to the Big Apple in 1981, we were in the small ballroom the first year, went to the grand ballroom in 1982, had an opportunity to sit up on that stage and receive a few awards along with through my career. But being here in Las Vegas, this city has really, I think, rolled out the red carpet officially, made it very exciting, and I think that we're going to be here for a long time, at least my opinion. I think it's the right place for this championship award ceremony. It's exciting to be here.
The city has certainly embraced NASCAR being here. And, you know, Jeff, every season has its own personality. It's unique unto itself. Certainly, we're going to celebrate Jimmie Johnson's 4th consecutive championship. But, Jeff, we had 14 different winners in this 2009 season. Let's take a look back at some of the memorable moments of this season's just passed.
NASCAR is America. Whatever our national pastime, our national passion is the automobile. American stock car racing stretches from coast to coast and across the calendar. A 42-week odyssey that ends with one champion, King of the Road. The road to a championship begins in Daytona. At the dawn of every season, crews aren't going back to work, they're coming home. The more things change, the more they stay the same. Teams put the wheels back in motion. Fans dust off their allegiances. The quest begins anew.
All right, boys, listen up. 2 things. 2 things. No home runs, no heroes. Stay in our range.
Do what we do it better than everybody else, and we will be the victor.
1, 2, 3, team, win, freeze, champions, Daytona.
All right, boys, just like what we spoke about, it's all about desire. Got to have the want to get this thing done here this year. Have fun today, boys.
Therefore, bud, we appreciate it. We're a team deal. Bring us home a little trophy.
None of the past matters. Today's about today. It's not going to be the guy who has the best year at the start, the guy who makes the best adjustments, the best big calls. Keep us around to the end. We're going to get you there.
It's another day at the races. Let's go out here and show them how we grind.
Yeah, 10-4, buddy. Nothing else we'd rather be doing than right here today.
Okay, coming to green this time. I'll let you start it. Let's settle in here, try to get some good laps. But right now, you just keep on cruising.
Here by 5, just logged some laps, doing a good job.
Oh, this is easy, bud. You want me to put the hammer down? I'll pull on out.
Ole, 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 ole. I'm so lonely, oh, so lonely.
I am the leader. I am your leader. Woo, woo.
But an ill-handling race car can leave even the sport's premier drivers singing a different tune. One slip, and the fat lady's song.
I need a new set of tires. These things are dog.
dog poo-poo. Oh, bird! Let the mother loose! Are you kidding me? Get your together. Is there any way we can just quit now? Should have just stayed home this week. We don't make any good adjustments during the race. It's the most frustrating thing in the world to think that you think that we're better than what we are. Tight with the front, loose with the back. I can't stand to drive these cars anymore. It's junk. Keep working on it, man. Just keep working on it. The more you work on it to get it in and off the corner, the more it's going to get tight, and I can't turn or I'm getting run over. We're so busy worrying about engineering numbers, and yes, we forget about how to build race cars. So we feel like a bunch of heroes right now.
Okay, I'm the car owner, Greg. You listen to me, but let's get serious here. Do the best you can. For everyone's trying, okay? Well, we don't need a lot of rhetoric that's always negative.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. wiggles off the corner, and here comes Mark Martin.
Need a leader? Yes, sir. That's the leader. All right. Well, there he goes. I have to let him go here, because if he touches me again, I'm going to freaking knock his head off. Slap the living out of his queue. You find that spotter and ask him for some respect. 20's looking outside. Clear high after him. He almost wrecked us both. Get on to Joey. Get on to him for that. I want him to know, but I'm very disappointed. Man, this front pack's really, really crazy right now. Green, white, middle checking up, and it's like Zerko. That was a mess right there. I'm watching on TV. Mother, this is short track racing. Check our mother damage. I can't see the right side from here. We're on the back straightaway, Einstein. Talk to me when you can, buddy. You okay? Yeah, I got a piss like a racehorse. We're gonna pit this time, pit this time. 4 tires, fuel, 3/8 up, track bar. Need a good one here, guys.
Everybody darting and diving to pit lane.
Get his fire off! Get his fire off! Drop it! Drop it! Drop it! Drop it! Go! 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 Get to the wall! Get to the wall! Haul out! Too fast entering. Pass through. No way! I guarantee you, I bet you money because I need no speed coming in. A good rub. Thank you, NASCAR, for screwing my day. Damn it, Kurt. Just lost the race, dude. I was gonna come with them. Damn it, damn it, damn it! I screw myself every year at this race. If I was a sidekick, we would have done it. Don't talk to me no more, please.
The physical nature of NASCAR makes it unlike any other form of racing. Competition is a fistfight among friends. Sibling rivals driven toward one goal.
Carl Edwards now leads the way. Brad Keselowski on his back bumper. Contact here in the triangle. Edwards goes up in the air. Kyle Busch has got the lead, but he hasn't got the win yet. Tony Stewart is there. Tony looks to make the move. He swings to the high side. Kyle Busch! Tony Stewart is going to win the Coke 0400.
Well, that's not the way I wanted to do it.
That pulls out of gas. Martin takes the lead in turn number 3.
We got it, baby! Yeah! I believe it's time to spray some beer!
Pop the champagne. Gordon wins for the first time at Texas Motor Speedway.
Yes, you guys got me a win in Texas. I love you! Woo!
In some ways, 2009 was like any other. Hard-fought wins, heartbreaking loss. But NASCAR's 61st season was also like no other. A road to racing history.
Jeff Hammond, as we look at the final standings for this 2009 season, Jimmy Johnson with 7 wins, 4 wins in the chase. But how about Hendrick Motorsports teams finishing first, second, and third?
And Steve, nobody would have ever believed it because of the fact that they did away with testing this year, thinking it would kind of jumble things up. And oh, by the way, I hate to tell you, but there's more than 3 Hendrick teams up there. Don't forget the way Tony Stewart and Ryan Newman ran. They made it to the chase. They're also affiliated with Hendrick, so I think a fantastic year, and it really shows the strength of this entire organization. 9 championships now for Hendrick Motorsports, tying that organization with Petty Enterprises. Well, look, Jeff, everyone looks so nice. The champion headed into the ballroom here at the Wynn Resort. Frank Kelly, you know, he's John Madden, you know. You got to watch out for him. He'll do Chris Myers in a minute.
And it's a thing, you know. Stay with us. The festivities just ahead here at the Wynn Hotel and Casino. Greg Biffle and his beautiful wife, Nicole, entering the ballroom here at the Wynn Casino and Resort. Our buddy, Michael Waldrop, looking quite dapper, I might add. So glad you're back with us here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Now, of course, in just a few hours, Jimmy Johnson will receive this trophy for winning his 4th consecutive NASCAR Sprint Cup Series championship, but in some ways it's a relief because this is a very busy week for the champion. For Jimmy Johnson, it started at his elementary school in El Cajon, California.
Everything seems so much smaller, but a lot of it still is the same, and I can remember the classrooms. A lot of the teachers that taught me then are still here and around and showed up today, so it's just a weird kind of flashback, I mean, in a great way. We're so appreciative of what the men and women in the armed services do for us, and it's great to say thank you. It's been impressive to see the fan turnout, you know, and to see the excitement. I mean, it's unlike anything I've been a part of.
That Jimmy can't drive all that well, so I came up with a new chase format for next year. What we do is we all pick in a hat the race that we get Chad Canals for the chase. I go to Baskin Robbins and I look at vanilla and it says Jimmy Johnson right underneath it too.
Really, the only thing faster than him is his receding hairline.
I know that I've been off the last 4 years, but I've never really been good at anything before, so this has been a good ride for me.
And Jeff Hammond, we saw Jimmy Johnson at his elementary school in El Cajon, California. We need to mention the numbers for Jimmy Johnson, 47 career wins, but here's a number I want to talk about. He and his wife, Chandra, through their Jimmy Johnson Foundation, donated $1 million this week to schools in 3 different states, including California, North Carolina, and Oklahoma, where his wife is from.
You can't say enough about what he has done as far as his foundation is concerned. He's got a big heart, folks. I mean, I have had the privilege to be around Jimmy since he came into the sport, and he is very humble. I think he's probably one of the greatest champions we've ever had as far as that part's concerned, because he's very much one of us, and that's what I love the most about him. He's a great race car driver, but he's very, very humble.
Jeff, I saw Carl Edwards earlier this week here at the Wynn, and he said, man, this is so cool, Steve. I love having it here. I think that not only the drivers and the sport, but the town of Las Vegas has embraced this.
Oh, no doubt about it. I mean, when you take a look at what was going on as far as the main drag here the other day when they brought the race cars down, and we've watched this happen in New York, but now it is really, I think, take another step to another level. This entire town is turned into NASCAR USA, at least for this one weekend.
Jeff, Roger Penske there, Jeff Gordon and his beautiful wife, Ingrid. Everybody, as I said, looking so spectacular.
Oh, yes, very much so. And I mean, Ingrid Vandenbosch right there, she is wearing a marquesage with Fred Layton jewelry. I mean, she's so elegant. I mean, and she just wears that kind of stuff so well. I mean, Jeff is so lucky to have him on his arm.
How about that? Jeff Hammond usually talking about springs and shocks and commenting on the apparel. There's some great entertainment tonight here. Glad you're with us here on Speed. Coming your way, Brooks and Dunn will be performing. Comedian Frank Caliendo, of course, you've seen him on the NFL on Fox pregame show. David Gray, Escala, they're fantastic, and comedian John Pinette.
You're part of that guy? He is wonderful.
Yeah, part of a star-studded evening. And of course, Mike Joy and Chris Devoto will be on stage. NASCAR President Mike Kelton heading into the banquet hall here at the Wynn, and I'm glad you're invited in as well. The entertainment capital of the world, you take a look at the Strip here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Did you know from outer space that Las Vegas is the brightest city on the planet? Little nugget there for you. Well, speaking of nuggets, before this season started, if I said to you, David Rudiman, Brad Keselowski, and the rookie Joey Logano would all win a race, would you have been surprised? I sure was. Let's take a look at some of the other surprises of 2009.
It was hard times in 2009. In NASCAR, some of the sport's biggest names merged to survive. While some struggled, Stewart-Haas Racing turned an underachiever into a contender, teaming 2 new cars with 2 veteran drivers. Owner-driver Tony Stewart ruled the regular season.
What a great accomplishment for Tony Stewart, this team, that organization. Who would have thunk it? Tony's makes $1 million.
I think it's still the individual night of winning at Charlotte at the All-Star race and seeing guys that have been with the organization for as long as they have that had never been to Victory Lane, and to see them crying in Victory Lane was still by far the coolest moment. I've never been more proud of the people that I have. I've never been more proud of the people that took a chance in being with us and believed in us, and that's gone a long way.
Juan Pablo Montoya made steady improvements and carried Earnhardt Ganassi Racing into their first postseason.
I want a top 3. Every point counts.
If you were driving this business right now, you wouldn't be telling me that.
You're right. That's why you get paid more. Focus, dude.
We proved to people we can be up there every week. Now we got to translate this year into next year, and I think if we can do that, it's going to bring new stability to the team.
The Home Depot team's addition of Joey Logano was a change in plans, but the rookie built on a winning tradition.
The rain is here.
Keep your fingers crossed, say a prayer. Go spinning it out now, racetrack's wet. You ain't kidding.
NASCAR has declared the race official. Congratulations to Joey Logano, the youngest Sprint Cup winner ever.
It's awesome, really. In the beginning of the season, I told everyone I didn't have any goals, but deep down inside, one of my main goals while I had the opportunity was to be the youngest Sprint Cup winner. And to accomplish that, it was awesome.
Rain created improbable winners, from the first for David Rudiman and Waltrip Racing to Matt Kenseth. 14 different drivers visited Victory Lane in 2009. Some of the names changed, some were the same. Some returned, some repeated. And some arrived by surprise.
Carl Edwards now leads the way. Brad Keselowski on his back bumper.
You just watch him in your mirror. He's all over you here, just you and him.
Contact here in the triangle. Edwards goes up in the air. A wild crash as they come down to the start-finish line. Brad Keselowski scores the victory.
For the first time in his NASCAR Sprint Cup career, Brad Keselowski is in victory lane.
While Brad Keselowski won his first race, Richard Petty hadn't won since 1999. It took a change to a new team to end a decade of futility and send the King to his first chase.
I think having Richard Petty and Richard Petty Motorsports, I just think that's cool to be part of that, and for me to be driving for Richard Petty is just a really awesome thing.
Casey Kane's road course woes are over.
We won a road course race. Unbelievable. Not too bad from a dirt tracker from Washington.
Casey Kane gets Richard Petty Motorsports to victory lane.
It's not a felon grade, but it's really not a real big passing grade either. So I guess you'd probably look at probably a good C, and that means we've got to go B and A, so we've got a long way to go.
Red Bull Racing came a long way in a short time. Bolstered by Brian Vickers' win at Michigan, the third-year team reached the next level.
Johnson's off the pace. He's coming to pit road. Vickers takes over the lead.
Just be smart here. Great job.
Coming down for the checkered flag, Brian Vickers does it at Michigan.
That's what I'm talking about, boss man. Hell yeah, good job. How about that first win for Red Bull? Great call. Great job, guys. Hell yeah.
It was just one more step for Red Bull. The year we got our first win, the first time in the chase, it was a huge year for us. No matter what, looking back, it's been a great year for myself. It's been a great year for Red Bull, and it's been a year that we can take into 2010 and really build on.
And Jeff Hammond, we had the honor of doing the Sprint All-Star Race live on Speed, and I was in victory lane, and to see the emotion, grown men hugging champagne bottles,
right,
and the hats they get in victory lane with tears in their eyes. I think a lot of people thought that Tony Stewart would be successful, but maybe not to the extent that he was.
Well, what's amazing to me is the fact, Steve, that in 2008, it looked like this deal wasn't even going to happen, and all of a sudden it comes together, and I think Tony Stewart and that entire organization put quite a deal together so quickly. There's his teammate right there, Ryan Newman, and they were able to come out of the box and be competitive. Ryan stumbled a little bit early part of the season, but Tony had to be the biggest surprise. Darian Grubb and everybody over there did such an outstanding job putting the right cars under him, and in the end, they got to victory lane, I think, a lot quicker than anybody thought they would, but they were competitive all year long, leading the points, and I think, if anything, they may have burned out just a little bit late in the season as far as the chase is concerned.
Jeff, I think another big surprise in this 2009 season had to be Michael Waltrip Racing. Michael was disappointed in his own performance, but David Rudiman was so close to making the chase, in Marcos Ambrose as well.
Don't forget the Australian, because again, he ran so well and was competitive along with David Rudiman in the early part of the season, and I think that's the one thing we're starting to see with a lot of the teams that came close, that got victories early on, like David Rudiman. They had great race teams, but in the end, this marathon of a season, I think, got to them also. But I look for them to be really strong in 2010.
And we talked briefly about Hendrick Motorsports, but Mark Martin finishing second for the 5th time in what has been a fabulous career.
Yeah, I mean, I listened to Mark at the end of what was the 2009 season at Homestead. He seemed so dejected. But Mark Martin, listen to me. You're a champion without the trophy. You've done such an excellent job throughout your entire career, whether it be Nationwide or Camping World Trucks or the IROC Series. Remember, you won that 5 times, so don't ever sell this guy short. He is a fierce competitor. He's the ageless one. In 2010, he may come back with even more of an effort.
And Jeff, I think I put him in the surprise category. He's done some great things in his career, but let's not forget, he ran a limited schedule the 2 years prior.
Well, you never know how a guy's going to respond. Again, running a limited schedule is one thing, but when it comes time to turn it up and make it happen, sometimes that can be a little bit of a struggle. There's another guy who was a huge surprise this past season, I think, We knew Juan Pablo Montoya was a world champion. This year, I think he proved that he's a NASCAR racer at the same time.
They did a fantastic job. He, Brian Patty, his entire race team getting in the chase.
Right.
And then once the chase started, he had a little trouble at Lowe's Motor Speedway, but if it weren't for that, he would have been there right at the end.
He's good all year long, and when it came time, like you've already mentioned, when it got close to showtime, they kept rolling that car basically since Indianapolis, and they were so good in Indianapolis. I really felt for him when he got that speeding penalty, but it was a legitimate speeding penalty. I think Juan Pablo will tell you that now, but still a great opportunity for him to be one of the, not the only person to win not only the Indianapolis 500, but win the Brickyard 400.
We're just getting started on what will be a fantastic evening. Some fans are here. That's a new twist here on the banquet. Comedian John Pinette, part of the entertainment. Denny Hamlin is here in his finest. And we are celebrating in Las Vegas, Nevada. There's a shot of the Stratosphere, a landmark resort here in Las Vegas, Nevada. We are inside the Wynn Hotel and Casino, which is a landmark in its own right. And there's Greg Biffle, Owen Kearns, who works for NASCAR in front of him.
Right.
And Mr. Kearns, with all due respect, we need to see the beautiful Nicole Biffle.
Oh, she has got an exquisite gown right there by Monique Lullier. I mean, it really is stunning.
Wow, I'm impressed, Jeff Hammond. Lullier.
Lullier? Monique Lullier.
I had no idea.
That's right.
Well, you know, we talked about teams that were a big surprise, but were you surprised that not a single team from Richard Childress Racing was in the chase? Let's look at some of the big names and big teams who had less than stellar 2009 seasons.
Roush Fenway Racing started 2009 in championship form. The organization was carried to their first Daytona 500 win by Matt Kenseth.
Matt Kenseth is the 2009 Daytona 500 champion.
And here he comes. Checkered flag, third California win for Kenseth.
I think the Mojo is back. We're going to have some fun this year.
After starting out with 2 straight wins, the 17 season fell apart.
How the hell we could blow up in lap 1?
It doesn't appear Matt Kenseth will win 3 in a row this afternoon.
3, 2, 1. Wait! Back him up, guys. Back him up. Help him. Help him.
Troubles continue for the driver who was squarely on the bubble. This thing's falling apart right here.
Kenseth missed the chase for the first time. Carl Edwards made it, but it was a bumpy ride.
Edwards will not make it to the flag.
Hampered by bad brakes and a broken leg suffered away from the track, Edwards failed to win a race. 2009 was Jamie McMurray's last campaign for Roush Fenway. New rules would force the 26 to be cut in order for the 5-car team to reach the NASCAR limit of 4. But McMurray and the 26 enjoyed one last hoorah.
Good job, dude. Good job. Way to hang in there.
We've known for a while that we were going to have to pare back from 5 teams to 4, that the 26 would be the one that we'd shut down, and Jamie would be the driver that would be forced to leave the team. Very sad about that, and whether it's fair, whether it's right, I'm not sure, but it's a reality. It's what we have to do.
Richard Childress Racing expanded to 4 teams after 3 years where all 3 cars made the chase. But in 2009, none of them reached victory lane or the postseason. Crew Chief Todd Berria's transfer to 3 RCR cars typified the team's ups and downs. Another team to suffer a roller coaster season was the 18. Kyle Busch tied for a regular season best 4 wins, including his home track of Las Vegas.
Thank you, guys. I don't believe it. This is awesome. Yes.
The favorite
son of Las Vegas, Kyle Busch, will win the Shelby 427. Sizzling red hot this season, already 2 W's. Nobody could put a glove on Kyle Busch.
Look back through there, you can see Kyle Busch is falling back a little bit.
Can't hustle the in-straight like I've normally been able to. Keep working on it, man. Just keep working on it. The more you work on it, the more it's going to get tight, and I can't turn.
Kyle Busch, unfortunately, on the outside looking in.
Kyle won the Busch brothers' battle for wins, but failed to qualify for the postseason. Big brother Kurt led Penske Racing back to the chase. The 2 was working overtime with crew chief Pat Tryson in his last run with the team.
Just a gas and go. Oh man, I tell you what, that caused some damage to Kurt Busch's car.
Why the did I pit? I'm so proud of this group.
That's the way it goes. You live and die as a team. But hey, I'm throwing them under the bus because we don't have them anymore. We're looking for a new crew chief. But hey, it's a great run for the Miller Lite Dodge.
I told you to keep looking, and he said 4.
He said it, I know.
Well, Jeff Hammond, Matt Kenseth won the season-opening Daytona 500 and backed it up with another win the very next week at the Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California. And hard to believe, but that was it for Matt Kenseth in 2009 in terms of visits to victory lane.
Oh, it was a really difficult year as far as Roush Fenway's concerned. Yes, they got off on the right foot as far as he was concerned, but really they never could mount a charge after that. It seemed like the wheel just came off that car when the engine went up in smoke in that first lap in the third race. So for the entire Roush Fenway organization, they struggled all the way to Talladega when Jamie McMurray finally got back to victory lane. So there's a lot of work to be done there, and I think some of the changes and what's going on there, I know that Jamie McMurray's moved on, but I think the whole organization right now is really set to turn it around.
Jeff, we thought that Clint Boyer was going to get in the chase to represent Richard Childress Racing, but I know it wasn't the season that RCR is used to having.
No, it definitely wasn't. I mean, they got stronger right there at the end. I mean, Jeff Burton really put on a charge as far as running through some top 10s, being up there, being competitive, finishing second. I mean, he really, I think, showed the capabilities of what Richard Childress Racing is all about and what kind of changes they made late in the season, but too little too late. And all they can hope for is that what they found in those last few races will give Kevin Harvick, Jeff Burton, you know, Clint Boyer, and everyone else involved with this organization an opportunity to move on. We don't know yet, you know, what's going to happen to the other group as far as the 07 and Casey Mears is concerned.
And one of the big stories to me was we know Kyle Busch had an amazing season. He won 20 races across the 3 top series in NASCAR, but 4 wins in the Cup Series, yet didn't make the chase.
Well, I think, again, it points out how difficult it is. Just because you're good part of the time, you have to be good all the time. And everybody says, well, that's not the way we want this situation designed and put together. That's the way it needs to be put together. When you get to the final 10 races, you want the best guys involved in representing our sport. This year, we had the top 12, and unfortunately for Kyle and the 18 group, they came up a little bit short. And I think with the changes they've made over at Joe Gibbs Racing, they'll be stronger than what they have in the past.
And speaking of which, a lot of people say, who can challenge Jimmy Johnson? It might be Denny Hamlin at Joe Gibbs Racing.
Denny Hamlin definitely showed he got into winning ways late in the season, a lot like Richard Childress Racing. Joe Gibbs started flexing some muscle when it mattered the most. And I think momentum, we kind of like sometimes sell out a little bit short in our business, but momentum is very important when you go through the off season, as we've got a long time between now and Daytona. I shouldn't say that. It's really right around the corner, but momentum's a big thing.
Where's Larry Mack? He knows exactly how many days until the Daytona 500. There's Jimmy Johnson and his beautiful wife, Chandra.
Oh, yes, and she is beautifully dressed in an Isaac Mizrahi gown. I mean, just made especially for her, and it just looks fabulous.
Well, speaking of fabulous, Larry Mack and his beautiful wife, Linda, he'll have to return that tux to Target, which back in the Carolinas is Target.
You know, he's going to really take exception to that, but I kind of like what you said.
I'm sure he's got a fine cigar there as well. Championship crew chief Chad Knaus as well.
Liesl Rockelman right there at his arm.
And what is she wearing?
A Bagali Mishaka.
Oh, fantastic. Stay with us in Vegas. Another landmark here, 140,000 hotel rooms here in Sin City. We're in the Wynn Hotel and Casinos. We're getting closer, celebrating the championship, Rookie of the Year, Joey Logano.
Yeah, we see his beautiful escort, Sabrina Simpson there, and Arana Gill. They make a really nice couple, don't they, Steve?
They certainly do. Ryan Newman and his gorgeous wife, Christy.
You got me on that one now, big guy.
I thought you knew all of these fashion.
Well, I did my homework, but some of the
accessories.
stuff these ladies kept just a little bit, to the, close to the vest. I think they're playing poker around here right now.
All right, well, we talked about the domination. I think we can use that word, Jeff, when it applies to Hendrick Motorsports.
Total domination. I mean, the thing is right now, so amazing about this whole organization is you would think that they started out a little bit slow as far as 2009 was concerned, but once they got rolling, you couldn't stop them.
They won their 9th championship in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, tying the great Petty Enterprises organization. It finished 1, 2, 3.
In the 25th anniversary season, 8-time Cup champion Hendrick Motorsports has dominated the NASCAR landscape. Jeff Gordon won 4 titles in 7 years. Since 2006, Jimmy Johnson has won 3 straight. To help win Title IX in 09, Hendrick brought in 50-year-old veteran Mark Martin.
I feel like we have a legitimate shot with 4 teams at the championship, so we're excited about the drive for 9 and 09.
I'd forgotten how talented he is until I really got to inside the walls of Hendrick Motorsports the last couple of years.
The Hendrick team arrived in Daytona looking for a strong start. Dale Earnhardt Jr. was running with the Bulls until he got into a run-in with a Red Bull.
Brian Vickers is collecting from the front of the field.
That wreck has sent 3 contenders that would have had a shot to win here to the garage area.
Sorry I didn't like this guy. I don't know who screwed up back there. It was the 88.
Crew Chief Tony Uri Jr. came to Hendrick Motorsports with Dale Jr. Season struggles brought a switch to Lance McGrew. But the 88's luck didn't change.
Trouble off of 4. Dale Earnhardt Jr. involved. Tony Stewart is there.
Dale Jr., that no talent son of a...
Throughout his history-making career, Jeff Gordon had never won at Texas. In 2009, he rewrote personal history.
I'm a competitor, and the competition is what it's all about. And the fun comes from celebrating in victory lane, and everything else is no fun.
Nice and smooth. Keep searching around. I'll let you know if something changes. You're doing good.
Pop the champagne. Gordon wins for the first time at Texas Motor Speedway.
Yes, you guys got me a win in Texas. I love you. Woo!
At Martinsville, winless Jimmy Johnson commemorated the 25th anniversary of Hendrick's first win.
We've worked really hard for the last 8 years that this team has been around. In the last 3, things have, has been well for us. I certainly hope it stays going this way.
Good luck today, buddy. Get that clock.
Johnson to the inside of Hamlin. He bangs him, and Jimmy Johnson takes the lead with the bump and run in turn 3.
Great job.
The Hendrick domination continues at Martinsville Speedway as Jimmy Johnson wins.
Thank you. I wanted that one. I wanted that one pretty bad.
I wasn't doing anything I could to get that one for you.
Early in his season, Mark Martin was still looking for his first win. Late in his career, he was still looking for his first title. He came to Hendrick for both.
I took that ride because I wanted to drive a really fast race car and maybe have a chance to win a race.
Well, Mark Martin has waited for 4 years to go back to victory lane, and he has done it.
Mark Martin, you are unbelievable, buddy. You are the man. I love driving y'all's car. Thank you.
To be able to accomplish that 8 races into the season has more meaning than anything else that I've accomplished in my career. It is the crown jewel of my career. Now we can work on trying to do it again.
Martin won 3 more times in the regular season, the oldest driver ever to win multiple races in 1 year. Martin, Johnson, and Gordon made the chase. Martin led in points, then led off the chase with a win.
He will win the Sylvania 300 at New Hampshire. He came in the points leader. He will leave the points leader.
The first to congratulate the 5, Jimmy Johnson. But the hunt was on. 1 week later in Dover, the 48 would celebrate.
It's such a relief to win in the chase with everything on the line, and I mean, you just go home and just let go, and you're like, thank God. You know, we did it. We got maximum points, but then Monday, Tuesday comes around, and you're like, man, we got to go do it again.
After winning twice more, Team Lowe's built a 184-point lead. The 48 was cruising until the wheels came off.
Trouble for Jimmy Johnson.
Straighten her out, baby. You get it inside.
Wow, Jimmy Johnson's car.
The team rebuilt and responded, winning in Phoenix to bring an overwhelming lead into Homestead. To win their 4th title, the 48 avoided disaster and chased down history.
Jimmy Johnson is a 4-time Cup winner.
My God, I can't believe it. History, boys. No one ever. Thank you. Thank you very much, man. I love you, brother. Thank you, guys. Thanks for a great year, man. I guess we finish second. Yeah, second.
There's more to life than the points tally.
Always seen that trophy and just feeling through my body and just so proud of what we've done. Such a cool experience.
The 48 celebrated a 4th straight championship. Theirs was an unprecedented odyssey, a road to racing history.
Wins for Hendrick Motorsports in this 2009 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series season. And Jeff Hammond, in 26 years of Sprint Cup Series competition, Hendrick Motorsports now with 188 wins.
Well, I think if you look at not only where the win column is, look just up underneath there. There is the captain of the ship, Rick Hendrick, but the top 10s that went along with it. These guys know how to finish races and keep themselves in a position where they can win races.
And Jeff, when you talk about Hendrick Motorsports, the guys inside the team all say the same thing. They want to win for Rick Hendrick.
They do. I mean, that's the cool thing about it. Having worked with Rick Hendrick and understanding his philosophy and how he tries to bring the team along, he wants you to be part of the family. He wants you to feel like you want to work there for the rest of your life, and he's able to accomplish that. This is a man right here that he brought into this sport, many years ago. He's got 4 championships. We're talking about Jeff Gordon here, and Jeff is not interested in going anywhere else. He loves Rick Hendrick. He loves driving for the man. I mean, it just says so much about the organization and what Rick Hendrick really means, which is family.
In Homestead, Florida, in the season finale, Jeff Darrell Waltrip made a very strong comment. He said that 48 team of Hendrick Motorsports is the best ever.
And I have to agree with him, because when you start breaking it down, look at who Darrell has raced with throughout his entire career, from the Pettys, the Wood brothers, I mean, Bud Moore, Junior Johnson, Dale Earnhardt, Richard Childers Racing. He's worked and raced against all of them. He understands what it takes to have a winning combination. And right now, I agree with him. Chad Knaus and Jimmy Johnson and Rick Hendrick have built a formidable organization. And the thing about it, 2010, they're not maybe done yet. They could go for 5 in a row. It's going to take an extra effort. And I really believe, Steve, if you want to beat these guys, it's going to take, I think, another Hendrick car to do it.
It's time now for another Jeff Hammond fashion update.
Oh, really? Oh, here we go. There's Mark Martin, his beautiful wife, Arlene, and her Tula.
You said Tula?
Tula.
I'm just amazed at Jeff Hammond's prowess. NASCAR Chairman Brian France is here, and that means this party is just about ready to start. So glad you're with us here on Speed. We'll bring you back inside the Wynn Resort and Casino. We'll step aside for just a few moments. Party is ready to start. We're so glad you're with us here on Speed for our coverage of the 2009 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Awards ceremony, live from the Strip in Las Vegas, Nevada. Let's head now to the main stage.
from NASCAR on Fox and Speed TV, Mike Joy and Krista Voda.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome, everyone, and good evening. Tonight, a grand celebration for a season of extraordinary accomplishment.
Absolutely. You know, Mike, they say Vegas wasn't built on winners, but our sport was. And tonight we honor a team that has redefined what it means to win and rewritten the history books in the process.
Well then, Krista, let's seat our head table with the key members of our 2009 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Championship team.
The team's engine builder, Jeff Andrews, accompanied by his fiancée, Cheryl Thurman.
Representing the team sponsor, Robert Niblock and his wife, Melanie.
Champion crew chief, make that four-time champion crew chief, Chad Knaus, accompanied by Lisa Rockelman.
Celebrating the 25th anniversary of Hendrick Motorsports, our champion car owner, Rick Hendrick, and his wife, Linda.
And for the first time in NASCAR history, our four-time consecutive champion, Jimmy Johnson, and his wife, Chandra.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2009 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion team. Please be seated and welcome one of the hottest new musical acts of the year, performing their signature tune, Palladio. Here is Escala.
On a coast-to-coast campaign of 36 races that stretches from the Gold Coast to the Golden State, the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series season is a journey. And for some, a championship quest. A quest where every track is a monument to speed, where every race is a landmark on the long road to championship glory. NASCAR is a sport of speed and spectacle, drivers saddled to nearly 900 horsepower machines, powering past grandstands full of people who make the quest worthwhile. The fans. The fans whose passion fuels this remarkable sport. The fans whose loyalty lies not in machines of metal, but in the mettle of men. Drivers who kiss their wives and kids, then climb into their cars and go to work. The fans whose idea of a family vacation is driving 400 miles to watch their driver race 500 miles. The fans. They too know what it means to get into their cars, head off to work, and work their best. Not because there's a trophy at stake, but rather to fulfill the hopes and dreams of those who care about them, those who they care about, the ones they're driven not to disappoint. A NASCAR Sprint Cup race features 43 drivers fighting for one reward. The best drivers may wait years to visit victory lane. But when the checkered flag falls in their favor, their efforts are rewarded, as is the faith of their fans. In the end, one driver and his team reign supreme. But they will not stand alone, for with them in spirit are those fans who have followed the quest throughout the season, cheering for their heroes, ordinary men doing extraordinary things. Making NASCAR the great American sport that we all cherish.
It's a race at Daytona. You want to win it.
Gentlemen, start your engines. Jeff Gordon for the lead and the win.
What a deal. All right, Kyle Busch.
And Kevin Harvick. He has raced his way all the way to victory lane. 51st Daytona 500.
It's the biggest event of the season. It's the first event of the season. Boy, Brian Vickers, Dale Earnhardt Jr., that ain't gonna work, boys.
Matt Kenseth, only the fourth driver in NASCAR history to win the Daytona 500 and the next race.
Johnson to the inside of Hamlin. He bangs him, and Jimmy Johnson takes the lead with the bump and run in turn 3.
Jeff Gordon finally wins in Texas. Can Keselowski try to win it?
He goes to the outside. Is Edwards going? Oh, no, he turns him.
I want to finish the race. And he did.
Brad Keselowski won this race.
Mark Martin wins at Darlington. Sam Hornish wins the Sprint Showdown.
3 wide and 2. Oh, boy, here we go. This is going to be tight right here. He's going. Oh, there we go. Keep your foot in it. Wow.
2 to go.
Stewart is. He got him. He got him.
Clear. Tony Stewart makes $1 million.
They're going to bring the cars onto pit road here because Lorraine has definitely picked up. It's finally official, and David Rudiman is the winner. White flag is out. Jimmy Johnson's
Oh, look at Bibble. He's shaking it. He's shaking it.
Half a lap from the finish. Mark Martin to the lead. NASCAR has declared the race official. Congratulations to Joey Logano, the
youngest Sprint Cup winner ever.
He's mirror driving right now. He may get turned for mirror driving. Here he comes. There he goes. Bush in the wall. Here comes Stewart to the checkered flag.
Man, block me once. That's okay. Block me twice, you're going in the wall.
There's nobody that loves winning. There's nobody that hates losing more than he does.
NASCAR making a major rule change in the middle of the season. It's double file restarts, shootout style.
Denny Hamlin goes to victory lane for the first time in 2009.
Too fast entering, pass through. Relax, dude, you are absolutely incredible.
Coming down for the checkered flag, Brian Vickers does it at Michigan.
That's what I'm talking about, boss man. Hell yeah, good job. How about that first win for Red Bull?
Wow, hard lick here. Huge lick by Jeff Gordon. Mark Martin on the bottom of the racetrack. Kyle Busch by 1 car length.
Mark Martin, you know, he raced me clean, and what a class act. I mean, he deserved to win this race.
Their goals are to make the chase.
Make the chase.
To make the chase.
Make the chase.
Kyle Busch missed the chase by just 8 points. Contact and Hamlin, who was the leader.
It's the 4th race in the chase, and it has taken a bad turn for Denny Hamlin.
Big time crash upside down.
Ryan Newman. We got one upside down.
It's Mark Martin. His car got upside down, barrel rolled.
McMurray at the age of 33 gets his first win in 85 races.
No question Jimmy Johnson has a sizable lead in the championship, and he is in control at this point.
Jimmy Johnson sliding off turn 2. Trouble for Jimmy Johnson.
Man, he's got a lot of damage.
The whole field thinks that this championship is back open again, and you know what? It is.
Could Jimmy Johnson bounce back?
You're at Phoenix, Arizona. Jimmy Johnson winning for the 7th time this year.
Open up the history books, folks. On a November night in 2009, Jimmy Johnson is a 4-time Cup winner.
Woo! I don't know how to begin to thank all of you guys. Thank you so much. My God, I can't believe it. History, boys. No one ever.
Stay with us here on Speed, as up next, superstar comedian Frank Caliendo gets the party started for the 2009 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Awards ceremony live from Las Vegas.
Please welcome your host of the 2009 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Awards ceremony, Frank Caliendo.
This way, I think it's this way. This is where I'm stopping, ladies.
Okay.
Thank you very much. All right. All right, thank you very much. And I'm glad we could get some really tall women. Perfect. Well, I'm 6'5". All right. Well, it is great to be hosting the NASCAR Sprint Cup Awards Series ceremony. We have a great show for you tonight. Unfortunately, some bad news to start out tonight. Adam Lambert had to cancel. I know, yes, a lot of you are going to be disappointed about that. I'm Frank Caliendo. Some of you have seen the billboards for my show around town. I'm part of Thunder Down Under. Very good, you guys are getting this stuff. More like lightning, very frightening, Frank. Hakuna Potato, all right. Well, let me just say this. NASCAR is a very exciting sport. The only place with better crashes, the White House. And, yeah, possibly the Tiger Woods house. That's called setting the tone, people. Here we go. Now, we even got a clap out of you guys. Like, we'll go with it. Okay. Now, like Chris Myers, I needed to brush up on my NASCAR knowledge. Unlike Chris Myers, I decided to do something about it. So, it'll be okay. I'm friends with him. So what I did was I set up an interview with Jimmy Johnson, and it didn't go quite as well as I'd hoped. This is so great. I get to interview Jimmy Johnson. I can't believe it. I can't believe he took the time. Here he comes. Hey, Frank.
Hey, how are you? It is so great to see you. Thank you.
Hey, gosh, thank you.
Okay, you can let go now.
It's just not every day you get to meet a living legend in person.
Well, yeah, I really didn't think that you were a big Cowboys fan.
Cowboys? Oh, yeah, you guys are kind of like modern-day cowboys. I love how you drive.
Yeah, I'm an okay driver.
Jimmy, you're being modest.
Well, okay.
Do the other drivers look up to you?
I don't know. You know, I just try to pay attention to the road. You know, just regular driving.
How do you maintain concentration at almost 200 miles per hour?
What are you doing? You're going to get me arrested for this.
Okay, I'm sorry. Could I just get your autograph?
Sure, sure.
Great.
There you go.
Timmy, you spelled your name wrong. You spell it with an I-E, not a Y. Are you dyslexic?
I'm not dyslexic, but you're an idiot. I'm Jimmy Johnson, former coach of the Dallas Cowboys, not Jimmy Johnson, the race car driver.
Oh, of course. Sorry. I can't believe I got you too confused.
That's okay. I got you confused with somebody that was funny.
Oh, wait. It's all starting to make sense to me now. I got it. Okay. Well, let's see. Anyway, the reason I guess NASCAR asked me to come here was because of all the different voices I do. And they could see the different ways that different people could host the show. For example, what about John Madden? You guys probably saw this coming a mile away. This is what I love. People say that John Madden retired. And he said this. John Madden he's 73 this year, and he retired. He said this.
At 73, it's time to start spending time with my family.
Really? That's the age you chose? What was wrong with 72?
I was just too vibrant. I was bouncing off the walls. I was taking Ritalin 3 times a day. It was just too much.
I mean, think about it. What would it be like if John Madden were to host this show, right? He'd do the monologue.
You know, the race for the chase is like being in Vegas. I mean, it really is. I mean, I was playing blackjack the other night, and I won 4 hands, but I ended up walking away a loser. And now I know how Kyle Busch feels. I mean, Kyle Busch wins 4 races, and he doesn't make the chase. The good news, he's probably going to get a BCS game. And I know it was kind of a disappointing year for Joe Gibbs. Joe, where are you? You know, it was kind of a disappointing year for Joe Gibbs. But look at the bright side, Joe. At least you're not coaching the Redskins.
If you think that's the bad stuff, you guys are going to be in a lot of trouble. Ooh. You know who else has some time on his hands? Former President Bush. W, yeah, man. There it is. That'd be a great host of this show. Yeah. Welcome to the NASCAR Award Sprint dinner thing. Some of you may know this, some of you may not know this, but I've actually changed my name. I'm now going by George W. Nationwide. It's such an honor to be in the presence of so many great racers. Names that we're so familiar with. Mike Marvin. Randy Newman. Craig Boffel. And Juan Pablo Montoya Jackson. These are great people. How about Charles Barkley? He'd be fun, right? A sports analyst, but Charles Barkley hates everything. He never likes anything. He thinks everything is terrible. That's Charles. But he doesn't say it like that. He doesn't say terrible. Charles says it like this. Oh, no, that was terrible. That's a terrible, terrible play. Where are the vowels go in that word? What's he doing? Saving them for the home game, a Wheel of Fortune? I would not like to buy a vowel. Consonants older. That was terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. Come on, spin the wheel. Big money, no bankrupt. You know why? I hate the sound of that slide whistle, knucklehead. That was terrible. You couldn't play Scrabble. You could not play Scrabble with Charles Barkley, right? What are you going to do when he puts down these letters? T-R-B-L. What's that? Terrible. What's that mean? It means horrible. What's that mean? Really, really bad, like running out of gas on the final lap bad. That's knucklehead move right there. That's terrible. And he always sounds hungry, doesn't he? When you want to, that's not good. You got to have gas when you finish the race. You guys can't ooh that one. If you don't have gas, then you end a little bit early and boom, somebody goes by and boom, they win. Now, on the pregame show for basketball, they're very specific with Charles Barkley because he always sounds hungry. Have you noticed that? For example, there's a team called the Denver Nuggets. And they always make sure to say Nuggets, Denver, because if they don't, they got a chance of losing Charles. They're like, what do you think of the Nuggets? I thought they were pretty good for dinner last night. Had some honey dipping sauce. That was crazy. C-R-A-Z-A, crazy. What's that? That's a triple word score. You just lost again, fool. That's why Charles would have a tough time hosting this show, right?
Be talking about the cars, you know, got the M&M's car, the Snickers car, the combo car. Hey, I'll be right back. Where you going? The vending machine. These things made me hungry. Jay Leno would be a good host, don't you think? And by the way, Jay Leno's the only guy on earth who could have a bobblehead made that would bobble less than his actual head. And I said that to Jay on his show one time. You know why? Because I'm a knucklehead. I said that to Jay, but he'd be great with the monologue, wouldn't he? You get that head bob thing going. Here we go. It's got a couple of jokes for you. A lot of talk of Danica Patrick coming to NASCAR. She's an inspiration to women. She's like Hillary Clinton, only she's actually won a big race. Could get a strum of the guitar on that one. That was good. Make a decision. Either you like it or you don't. She's accomplished a lot on the track, too. She really has. She'd be the first driver to wear a bikini on the cover of a magazine since Jimmy Spencer. Just got the visual of that. What was he on? Was he on the cover of PQ? What was that, Pizza Quarterly? That's how I eat pizza, quarterly, knucklehead. I always love when Chris Rock hosts something because he's very edgy, very biting. You know, he gets that thing going. It's like, Dale Jr., Dale Jr., Dale Jr. is popular as ever. Did you know he sold more T-shirts and lunch pails this year than Miley Cyrus? Too bad there wasn't the same amount of races. Don't worry, it's okay to laugh. He's not here. They only invite the top 10. And how about Mark Martin? He had a great year. Finished second place behind Jimmy Johnson, and he got his AARP card. This year's the 5th time Mark has finished the runner-up. The first time was against Ben-Hur. Maybe a little bit sillier. Maybe go with Adam Sandler, you know? I love how Adam Sandler can sing a song. It doesn't have to make sense. He'll rhyme it at the end, and people will give him a ton of money. That would be great here, you know? They're like I would like to sing a little song for you. I like to sing, but I'm not a great singer. My favorite driver is A.J. Allmendinger. Here's $30 million. Hey, thank you. Then here's another verse. It's bad to drive slow, but driving fast is nice. Since I started this song, Jimmy Johnson lapped me twice. Oh, here's $30 million in casino chips I owe somebody, knucklehead. That was good. Hey, enjoy the rest of the show. And I want to say this, too. Now, before I go, I just say this. With all the promos on Speed for the Tonight Show, I found out how many of my friends love NASCAR, and it's made me realize how popular NASCAR actually is. Wow, congratulations to Jimmy, your entire team, and all the winners, and we'll see you all later tonight. Thank you guys very much. Enjoy the rest of the program.
We start a great tradition tonight here in Las Vegas. Many of us in this room are old enough to remember the banquets in Daytona Beach that happened immediately preceding the start of the next season. Then we moved to New York for nearly 3 decades of great celebrations of Sprint Cup seasons. Tonight, as we begin a new tradition, we want to take a look back at some of our favorite moments of banquets past, some of them very poignant.
Dale, great effort, man. There's some milk.
And Alan, let me tell you something, bud. You got Julie sitting there with you, so you're going to have to marry this girl. Are all the pictures in your house when you do marry another girl, you're not going to be able to enjoy your championship, man.
I'd like to start with thanking my mom, my dad, my grandmother, Kurt, and my girlfriend, Eva. Eva, Erica.
If you guys were here last year, I promise I won't cry. That was big. Yeah, it's funny now. It wasn't funny at the time.
Thanks for including me in tonight's ceremony, and congratulations to Jimmy Johnson and his red-hot smoking wife. Woo! Enjoy the rest of the night.
Checks are in the mail, and we know NASCAR is good for the money. They get it from Dale Jr.
Hail Kelly Clarkson. Cheryl Crow.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kiefer Sutherland.
Jewel.
I'm not Jeff Gordon.
Harry Connick Jr. and his band.
Matchbox 20.
I got it. Not into it.
Leanne Rhymes.
Scott Stack.
Please join me in
NBC News anchorman Brian Williams.
The world seemed to stop on the last lap of the Daytona 500. We've lost Dale Earnhardt.
Dale Earnhardt lived an American dream. He worked for it, he was proud of it, and he enjoyed it, and so did we.
Alan wanted to be the champion. He wanted to be the best champion that he could be.
To the people at Hendrick Motorsports, our hearts go out to you.
I want to pay tribute tonight to a man I was proud to call a friend. That, of course, is William Clifton Prance.
When I was a little kid, I longed to be here tonight on stage.
Rusty, we're going to miss you. You'll always be our friend.
I salute what I believe is the greatest American sporting event that we have, NASCAR.
Got Ben up here now because I think he'll be one. I'm looking forward to standing here 50 years from now.
I'm going to give this thing a shot for a couple minutes. If you guys will go with me for a minute.
I just want to congratulate Jimmy. Tied really is all he's done. So, boy, you got some work to do.
Bill France Award of Excellence. Only a truly special achievement calls for the praise and prestige that this award brings.
Ladies and gentlemen, our present and past NASCAR champions.
So many touching moments from banquets past, but you know, we have something very special at this year's banquet. Ladies and gentlemen, the fans are here in the house tonight. Of course, NASCAR fans really need no introduction. They are more involved, more loyal than any other sport. Earlier this year, they made their voices heard when they helped vote in NASCAR's very first Hall of Fame class. Please welcome the Executive Director of the NASCAR Hall of Fame in Charlotte, North Carolina, Mr. Winston Kelly.
Good evening. In 2006, Charlotte was honored to be selected by NASCAR as the home of the NASCAR Hall of Fame. On behalf of NASCAR, the City of Charlotte, the Charlotte Regional Visitors Authority, Bank of America, Wachovia Wells, and the entire NASCAR Hall of Fame team, we want to invite each and every one of you to join us for our grand opening ceremonies next May the 11th. We're especially excited about our inaugural induction ceremony next May the 23rd. The fans cast over 670,000 votes as a part of the process Krista mentioned earlier this year. And in October, a group of 50 experienced professionals from throughout the NASCAR industry determined our first 5 inductees.
Big Bill France was a family man with a racing dream.
Bill France was, I think, 6'8". He was a giant of a man. Without Bill France, there would have never been no NASCAR as everybody knows today.
In 1936, they put the first beach road stock car race on.
On December 14th, 1947, at Daytona's Streamline Hotel, a meeting of 35 men organized stock car racing into one governing body. NASCAR was born.
I'm just very happy I was able to get NASCAR put together because it's got a rooting interest of many, many people.
Under France, NASCAR became the major league sport of the South. Richard Petty was a driver for the ages who defined his era and set a standard for all time. Richard was king. 200 wins, 7 championships.
There was a time there that Richard Petty, when he showed up, it was like, okay, who's going to run second?
You know, dirt tracks, short tracks, super speedways, didn't make any difference. Everything just clicked. There's not a whole lot you can do. You don't ask questions. You just go get ready for the next race, hoping the luck stays with you.
When they were in a position to win races, they won races. And I think that's the big deal that allowed them to dominate through the 60s and into the 70s. He was just incredibly focused on one thing, and that was winning races. I think that's what made Richard Petty such a great driver.
Junior Johnson was the iconic Southern bootlegger. The last American hero was one of NASCAR's first folk heroes.
Junior Johnson was my hero. He drove his white 63 Chevrolet with a 3 on the side of it. And the thing that always intrigued me was he had a 427 Chevrolet mystery engine.
Meanwhile, the Chevy engine, which wasn't supposed to last, has Johnson still in front.
After winning 50 races, Junior quit racing, but not winning. As an owner, he won 6 titles, 3 with Darrell Waltrip, and a record 3 straight with Cale Yarborough. In January of 1972, NASCAR founder Bill France Sr. stepped down, passing the family business into the hands of his son, Bill France Jr.
Father taught me one thing: you either get bigger or you get smaller. You can't stand still.
From Big Bill to Little Bill, NASCAR grew. In 1984, one president joined the president to watch a king win his historic 200th race.
Petty wins his 200th career NASCAR victory.
Since the birth of this American motorsport, the France family has been NASCAR's guardian, keepers of a racing dream.
Welcome to my office. I'm glad y'all could be here. This is where I work every day.
You get your front end in there, you stand your ground. A lot of times it comes out bad, but you know, a lot of times you win races too.
Dale Earnhardt gave the maximum effort every time he got in a race car.
Oh, Earnhardt in the crash.
Just sheer guts and determination pretty well describes Dale Earnhardt, and a desire to win no matter what he did.
If there was one thing you don't want in your mirror, it's the black 3.
Dale Earnhardt was a working man's hero who tied Richard Petty's record of 7 championships.
He just did not have quit in his vocabulary.
We all eagerly await the opening of the NASCAR Hall of Fame. For tonight's first presentation, the Manufacturers Championship Award. Please welcome NASCAR's Vice President of Competition, Robin Pemberton.
Thanks, Mike. Competition is without question closer than ever in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. This year we had 18 races with a margin of victory of less than 1 second. There were an average of 10 leaders and 20 lead changes per race. Chevrolet's 33rd Manufacturers Championship may be the most impressive of them all. Chevrolet swept the top 3 positions in the series points finale, and winning 18 races led by Jimmy Johnson's 7. Chevrolet drivers also took 19 poles, led by a career-high Mark Martin's 7 pole positions. It is my pleasure to present the 2009 Manufacturers Championship Trophy to the General Director of Chevrolet Advertising, Sales and Promotion, Kim Brink. Kim?
Good evening, everybody, and thank you very much for being here tonight. On behalf of Team Chevy, it is my honor to accept the Manufacturers Trophy for the 2009 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. We couldn't be any prouder of our teams who have worked so hard to help us earn this recognition, because when they're successful, Chevrolet is successful. We especially appreciate the dedication and support of our key partner teams: Hendrick Motorsports, Richard Childress Racing, Earnhardt Ganassi Racing, and Stewart Haas Racing. And Tony, a special call out to you from everyone at Chevrolet. It is great to have you back with our brand. But of course, the big story tonight is the record-setting 4th straight championship for Jimmy Johnson, Chad Knaus, and the number 48 Lowe Chevy team. Congratulations, Jimmy, Chad, and the entire organization on this historic achievement. We also applaud Rick Hendrick for earning his 9th Owners' Championship. Rick, you're an incredible partner for Chevrolet, especially this year, and our heartfelt thanks go out to you for everything that you've done for us. Thank you. Thank you. In total, we thank all of the teams and drivers who represent Chevy in NASCAR, including Kevin Harvick Incorporated's Ron Hornaday, who earned his record-setting 4th Champion World Truck Series, and the top Chevy finisher in the Nationwide Series, JR Motorsports' Brad Keselowski. Finally, we're also deeply grateful for the support of Brian France, Mike Helton, and the entire NASCAR community for standing with us during a challenging year at General Motors and Chevrolet. It will not be forgotten. And a very special thanks to all of our loyal fans who drive Chevy cars and trucks every day and depend on them day in and day out. Now, all of us at our brand are focused on winning in the future, and we're dedicated to following the convictions of our founder, Louis Chevrolet, who summed up our spirit in these 3 very powerful words: never give up. It's been an honor to be here tonight, and thank you once again for this trophy.
This year, we lost a number of cherished members of our NASCAR community. Let's take a few moments to recognize and reflect a few of them.
Heavenly day, all the clouds blew away. Got no trouble today. With anyone. The smile on your face, I live only to see.
Looks like we have some gambling money, so let's get after it.
Please welcome back your host of the 2009 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Award Ceremony, Frank Caliendo.
Welcome back, everybody. Having a good time? This has got to be the most luxurious, I started going Donald Trump on here. This has got to be the most luxurious, amazing awards dinner ever. Let's see, our featured musical guest tonight has more than $12 million in album sales worldwide. Let's welcome a truly authentic singer, songwriter performing Fugitive from his new album, Draw the Line. Ladies and gentlemen, David Gray.
David Gray. No other sport celebrates like this because no other sport is like this. Yesterday at the Venetian, I was honored to host the annual NASCAR National Motorsports Press Association Myers Brothers Awards. This event spotlights many of the sponsors who support the series via presentation of year-end contingency awards. In addition, there were several special recognitions, along with presentations to this year's champion sponsor and champion crew chief in the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. The NASCAR Foundation Award was presented to Daytona International Speedway. The NASCAR Marketing Achievement Award was presented to Coca-Cola. The DirecTV Crew Chief of the Year is Darian Grubb. The Mechanics Wear Most Valuable Pit Crew is the crew of the number 42 Chevrolet from Earnhardt Ganassi Racing. The Mobil One Command Performance Award was won by the driver of number 42, Juan Pablo Montoya. The Moog Chassis Problem Solver of the Year is Drew Blickensderfer of Roush Fenway Racing. The O'Reilly Auto Parts People, Services, and Performance Award was presented to Denny Hamlin. The Home Depot Humanitarian of the Year is Tim Booth from Michigan International Speedway. Winning the Tissot Pit Road Precision Award, Greg Biffle and the crew of the number 16 Ford from Roush Fenway Racing. Winning the Wix Filters Lap Leader Award, Tony Stewart. The Molly Engine Builder of the Year from Hendrick Motorsports is Shane Parsnow. Our series champion, Jimmy Johnson, took home the following: the Goodyear Gatorback Fastest Lap Award, the Dow Automotive Strategic Call of the Race Award, the Sunoco Diamond Performance Award, and the beautiful gold car that is the Goodyear Tire Award. The Coors Light Pole Award went to Mark Martin, winner of 7 poles this year. Dale Earnhardt Jr. was acclaimed as the Czech's most popular driver for the 7th straight year. Legendary crew chief Dale Inman was surprised with the Buddy Schumann Award. And the event's namesake Myers Brothers Award was presented to the most trusted voice in motorsports, Barney Hall. We honored the Ray Bestis Rookie of the Year for 2009, Joey Logano. The Champion Sponsor Award was presented to Lowe's CEO, Robert Niblock. And the Champion Crew Chief Award was presented to and videotaped by Chad Knaus. Congratulations again to all of yesterday's award recipients.
When we return to Las Vegas, the accolades for 4-time champion Jimmy Johnson begin here on Speed.
Our next performer is making a return to this event. He starred on Broadway as Edna in the hit musical Hairspray. He's a former stand-up comedian of the year. You'll likely recognize him from his highly successful Comedy Central special, I'm Starvin', and as the carjack victim in the final episode of Seinfeld. This guy's unbelievable. Please welcome one of the funniest guys in the world, John Pinette.
It is a pleasure. They have us in Vegas this year. I love this town. I had a house here. And I bought a house here years ago. I sold it, though, because it became summer. And it was 116 one day. And I said, oh, good. I bought a house on the surface of the sun. And I don't do well in the heat. You wouldn't think, but I don't. I have a good air conditioner, though. I keep it 40, 45. They found skinny people frozen solid in my hallway, inches from the thermostat. Look at that, he almost made it. And I had a good air conditioning guy. I'd see him once a week because I'd break the air conditioner. He was from Scotland. Now, how he got from Scotland to Vegas, I have no idea. But he was funny. He had that Scottish dialect, you know? What are you doing in that house? You froze the whole unit. It's gonna take me 2 days just to unfreeze it. I'll give you $1,000. We'll have you frosty in 15 minutes. What you moved to Las Vegas for if you didn't like it? Ah, it was for the buffets, wasn't it, chubby? Actually, we got to be good friends, and we went out drinking one time. He had a few drinks in him. I didn't know what he was saying anymore. Where do you want to go now? What? This one time when I was living in Vegas, and it was 117 degrees, I was being driven to a show, and I had a driver, and I was depressed because it was so hot. And all of a sudden, I heard angels. There was a Cold Stone Creamery. And I saw the angels over the Cold Stone Creamery. It might have been the heat. Now, I went into the Cold Stone, and there was a line out the door. That's because in an ice cream line, people don't know how to order. It's ice cream. When your brain wants ice cream, nobody ever says, you know, a week from Thursday, we'll go for ice cream. Your brain has said, ice cream! So you get up out of bed at 3 in the morning if your brain says ice cream. And I'm at the end of this line, and I hear people in front saying stuff like, are toppings extra? Yes. In a capitalist society, extra stuff is extra. This coupon's expired. Can I use it? On expired ice cream. And I don't know it, but I'm so mad I start to develop an Ewok-like growl. I'm lactose intolerant. Is there dairy in here at all? How big is your small? Now, I know there are people in this room that have asked that question. Don't look away from me. If you ask how big is the small, I want you to know that I love you. And I want to talk you through it. I'll tell you why. Because why would you ask such a stupid, moronic question? Because you're not stupid. And you're not a moron. Apparently, one time you bought a small, and it was real big. It was a long time ago. You blocked it out. You were at an awkward age in your life. You were beautiful. You just didn't know it. You went to one of those restaurants where the smalls are big. You didn't know. And they went, here's your small. And everyone judged you. You're going to eat all that. You're a pig. This is the small. We're going to take a picture. It's a small. I'm here to tell you, the smalls are small. How big is the small? It is a little more than none. Take a chance. If the small is too big, nothing bad happens. You move on with your life. I was working in Des Moines, Iowa. In Des Moines, really nice people. But I was there for like 5 days. And there wasn't a lot to do during the day. And the third day I'm there, the owner of the club says to me, matter-of-factly, you know, there's a rib festival in town. About 1,000 rib boots at the fairground. Would you be interested in something like that? Get in the car! So we go to the Iowa State Fairground, and it's filled with ribs. It's like Willy Wonka's factory. but with ribs. Come with me and you'll see a world of sheer imagination. Now, I have my monogram rib bib that I carry with me on the road. That you should see me in my monogram rib bib. I am adorable. I look like a Bob's Big Boy come to life. I have my monogram rib bib and a bottle of Lipitor for the dry rub. And there's a long line, but it's a rib festival. I'm happy. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easy. People had questions in the rib line. They got ribs. That's all I got. You could get a half a rack or a whole rack. People asking questions. What kind of wood do you use in your smoker? Get out of the line. Is this a vinegar-based barbecue sauce? Get out of the line. Go on ribchat.com. Then I had a couple in front of me, and then it was me. I was gonna get ribs, but they were chatty. They were older. They were from Omaha, Nebraska. They drove there in their brand new Winnebago. Well, it's not brand new, 9,000 miles, but it might as well be brand new. They bought it from the neighbor across the street. His wife had a stroke, and they couldn't travel as much. Get out of the line! Then they asked this rib guy how he makes his ribs. Don't ask him that. That's a story. He sits in a rocking chair and starts to whittle. Who does that anymore? Pours himself a drink. It all started in 1956 in the woods outside of Asheville, North Carolina. I don't remember what happened after that. I guess I got ribs. I woke up in the woods. Either that or I killed a deer. I don't know which one. I'm not a very patient guy. Shopping, wow. I give money for Christmas. I can't shop. I don't do well. Even on the road, you have to shop different places. I went to Borders, and they're a nice store, but it shouldn't take longer to buy a book than it does to read a book. I went to buy the book. They said, "Could we have your name and address?" No. You can have this money. I went to Bath and Body Works. Now, I shouldn't have gone in there. It's a ladies' place. They had a lot of questions. Do we have your email? What is your address? Do you have coupons? I have this money, and I would like to take a shower. Can you help me? I went to Bed Bath & Beyond. I'm never in there. I didn't know. Apparently, Bed Bath & Beyond has a lot of coupons. If you don't have a coupon, they talk about you in the line. He doesn't have a coupon. You don't have a coupon? You don't have a coupon? Is somebody with you? Is your name in your jacket? I have money. Isn't this money good anymore? It says in God we trust. Don't you trust God? Crate and Barrel is another one. Oh, Crate and Barrel, I make them nervous. I could fart in that store and break $10,000 worth of wine glasses. I hope Crate and Barrel is not a sponsor. We'll be in a lot of trouble. There'll be a harsh note from the Bed Bath & Beyond sponsors. I went to Crate and Barrel. Well, I went to this one store. I went to buy a dining room set, and I said, "I'll take that." And they said, "We'll order it for you. It's right here. Help me get it in the car." I went to buy a toaster, and they said to me, "Would you like to buy the extended warranty for the toaster?" No. I think I'm going to absorb the risk on this one. If this toaster should break, and God forbid that day should come, I'm going to take another $49 out of my pocket, buy another toaster, because that's how I live. On the edge, baby. Hello. Hi, Jimmy. You promised to take me out in the car for a ride. All right. I went to buy blinds for my house, and they wanted $2,000 for blinds. I'm not paying that. If I walk around naked long enough, the neighbors will chip in. I'm your new neighbor. See you later, everybody. Have a great 2010. Congratulations.
Top 10 drivers Casey Kane and Ryan Newman live from Las Vegas. It's the NASCAR Sprint Cup Awards ceremony.
We had a great chase this year, and now it's time to start meeting the drivers who made it great. Our 2009 Top 10 of the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. And they'll share with us some of who their racing heroes were. Let's begin with a driver who helped return a legendary name to victory lane this year.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, 10th place, Casey Kane.
When I was growing up, my dad had a sprint car, and as I got older, I started liking Jeff Gordon as he went through some of the sprint car ranks and then into NASCAR, and as well as he did with Ray Evernham right off the start, and they won a bunch of races. The fans mean everything to NASCAR. You know, I want to try to make the time to take care of them and show them that I care, and that you know, it's neat that they're into Casey Kane or into what we do on the weekends. The NASCAR fans are so dedicated. It's just really neat to see how many people follow NASCAR and how big it is. In 2009, winning Sonoma was really neat just because it's such a tough race for myself, and I haven't even came close there in the past, and then to go out and be one of the best cars throughout the race and end up pulling off the win at the end was really cool for myself and our team.
Casey Kane gets Richard Petty Motorsports to victory lane.
Awesome car. Thanks, guys. That was unreal. Keep after him, man.
Casey Kane now just stretching it out on the rest of the field.
You're doing good, man. Doing good. Pulling away, buddy. Doing great.
Casey Kane will secure his second win this year and most likely secure a spot in the chase.
Good job, man. Awesome. Awesome. Way to go. Woo!
Please welcome driver of the number 9 Budweiser Dodge from Enumclaw, Washington, Casey Kane. Casey was the ranked bestest rookie of the year in 2004.
Well, congratulations, Jimmy. Another championship for you and your guys. Pretty awesome. You guys have, you just keep doing it each year. Congrats. I want to start off by thanking the 9 guys for working so hard each and every week. Kenny Francis is an awesome leader. We all know how hard Kenny works and how focused and dedicated he is to making our cars go fast. I'd also like to thank Budweiser and their 180,000 worldwide employees, distributors, retailers, wholesalers, and brewmasters. I've never worked with so many people who are so excited to be a part of racing. Thanks to NASCAR and Sprint for continuing to keep the racing exciting. It seems like every year since the chase began, it has been a battle through the end of the season, which is awesome to be a part of. To our associate sponsors, Stanley, Best Buy, Valvoline, Allstate, Gillette Young Guns, McDonald's, Siemens, Mac Tools, Freightliner, Dassault Systems, Auto Value Bumper to Bumper, Cintas, Bank of America, Remington, Puma, Oakley, and DirecTV, we value your partnership. To Dodge, thanks for the first 6 years of my Cup career. I've enjoyed working with everyone at Dodge, and I look forward to seeing you at the racetrack. Thanks to everyone at Richard Petty Motorsports for your hard work. The cars we ran the second half of the year were second to none. That has so much to do with how hard everyone worked at RPM to develop the best cars possible. It was an honor to stand beside Richard Petty in victory lane. The win at Sonoma was a huge momentum builder for the 9 team toward making the chase. Atlanta was one of my favorite tracks, so to get another win there was pretty special as well. Richard, as our team owner, has really opened my eyes to how much the Petty family means to the sport. I had the opportunity to spend a day with Richard in Level Cross, North Carolina. It was good for me to see where Petty Enterprises began and how it's evolved. We drove around the property, checked out where he lives, and ended up at Victory Junction Gang. The camp is such a great place for kids to come and hang out with other kids and do things that they've never had the opportunity to do. Patty and Kyle Petty have done an unbelievable job of giving them those opportunities. Thanks to so many of you in this room for your continued efforts toward volunteerism, community, and charity work, whether it was the Jeff Gordon's bowling tournament, Tony Stewart's Prelude to the Dream, Jimmy Johnson's golf tournament, Juan Pablo's gala, Greg Biffle's pet calendar, or Ryan Newman's pet book. I've really enjoyed working with all of you, and a special thanks to the fans who support the entire NASCAR community. Thanks to my sister Shannon, who has worked so hard over the past 4 years on the Casey Kane Foundation. Enjoy your Budweisers tonight, have a safe and happy holiday season, and let's not forget about all the men and women who fight for this great country every day. Thank you.
Next, a driver who joined a brand new team that quickly became a championship contender.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, 9th place, Ryan Newman.
Here comes Ryan Newman, flying up the outside lane.
I had 3 racing heroes. Dale Earnhardt, because he could beat anybody before he ever got to the racetrack, before they ever got in the race car. Richard Petty was probably my all-time favorite. He was always just a great appreciator of the fans. And AJ Foyt, because the guy could drive anything, anywhere, anytime. It's neat to have a positive impact on any kid, obviously because of racing, but you know, just in general, the things that they look up to, whether it's your car number, your sponsor, who you are. When they say that they want to grow up and be like Ryan Newman, it makes you feel good inside. Best racing moment this year was Red Richmond making the chase. That was one of my personal goals, and one of the team's goals, obviously, was to have a shot at the championship. If it wasn't for the fans, we wouldn't have a sport. The fans obviously show up at the racetrack and support us in person, but with our products and sponsors, and the fans drive everything. Every aspect of our sport is not possible without the fans.
You're going to go to the front. You're going to have to go to the high side. That's what Ryan Newman is telling everybody.
He's going to challenge for the lead-off, too. Newman leads the way.
My grandfather had a stroke and couldn't get up in the grandstands anymore, so my grandparents handed the tickets down to myself and my dad, and got a little smarter when we got older and decided that if we just, you know, try to sneak into the garage, then we'd have a little bit more fun. And then we realized it's not that easy to sneak in, so if you start making counterfeit passes, you know, little construction paper here, match the colors that we saw on a Thursday, we could get in on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Obviously, it paid off.
Please welcome driver of the number 39 U.S. Army Haas Automation Chevrolet, from South Bend, Indiana, Ryan Newman.
Ryan Newman has 45 poles in his career.
Thank you. Jimmy, congratulations. Chad, Rick Hendrick, all you guys, awesome job. Hope you enjoy your retirement. Seriously, congratulations. It's you're a great champion for our sport, and it's fun to race with you, actually, when I get to race with you. I started this year a little bit at the end of 2008, and got the opportunity to join Stewart Haas Racing. And when I talked to Tony Stewart, I told him one thing for 2009, and that's that I wanted to have fun, and we have had a lot of fun. And thank you, Tony. Thank you, Gene Haas. Thank you, everybody at Stewart Haas, for the opportunity that you've given me to drive and do what I love to do. Tony Gibson, you have been a great leader. I appreciate all your support, your dedication, your ability to overcome adversity, as we've done so many times this year. Thank you, and all of the crew, all of the U.S. Army crew. Really enjoyed being a part of your team and the things that we've accomplished this year. The U.S. Army, thank you so much. I try so hard to exemplify what it is to be Army strong. And as I've said, we've had to overcome some adversity this year, and it's been an honor to represent the men and women who fight for our freedom each and every day, who have fought and will fight, and all the branches of the military as well. So thank you very much for what you have done. Thank you. I have to thank my family as well. Obviously, if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here, and especially my wife, Chrissy. Your loving and caring support, and at times your courageous walks to the Talladega Infield Care Center. Obviously, NASCAR, we couldn't be here without you, and Sprint, so thank you for what you do. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to do what we love. Haas Automation, Gene Haas and your family, thank you for supporting us in the race car. Chevrolet, Tornadoes, you're going to be a new sponsor for us next year, the Ruiz family, so thank you for coming into NASCAR and being a part of our family as well. Office Depot and Old Spice, what you've done to be a part of Stewart-Haas Racing is thankful as well. My personal sponsors, Gillette, Ranger Boats, Coca-Cola, Dixie Chopper. Thank everybody. I hope you have an enjoyable night, have a great holiday season, and we'll try to see you again next year. Thank you very much.
In his third NASCAR season, our next driver made the chase for the first time. Whether he's at Monaco or Martinsville, he just wants to be up front.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, 8th place, Juan Pablo Montoya.
There's weeks where you're gonna run really good, weeks where you're gonna run horrible and you don't even know what happened.
Sorry, dude, but can't do anything. Relax, focus.
If you were driving this right now, you wouldn't be telling me that.
You're right, that's why you get paid for. Focus, dude, P8.
You know, something about NASCAR is really nice. The fans have a lot of access and they can get really close to us, you know, much better than any other sport. Without the fans, it wouldn't be a sport.
These guys trying to run down Juan Pablo Montoya. He's running almost a half a second quicker than anybody else.
It's all about pace, my friend.
I don't think there's any magic, there's no tricks, there's nothing. You just gotta be consistent, you gotta bring the car home every week, and you gotta bring it as high as you can and see if that's enough.
Juan Pablo Montoya!
Oh yeah, oh yeah. There you go.
Same way nobody really expected us to make the chase, I think nobody really expected us to contend for it.
These guys are serious right now, boys. Here comes Montoya making it 3 wide on the inside.
Look at this. He's getting 2 for 1 down the backstretch. Wow. I'm telling you, Montoya's not done here. He's going for this win.
There's a new leader, Juan Pablo Montoya.
They're gonna be there all the way. Clear, clear.
It's been a very good year for us.
Please welcome driver of the number 42 Target Chevrolet from Bogota, Colombia, Juan Pablo Montoya.
Juan Pablo had 2 Coors Light Pole Awards this year.
Well, good evening, everybody. First of all, Jimmy, again, you know, I've been here for 3 years, and you keep kicking our butt every week, and it's great to see you here, and it really sucks, to be honest, but it's been amazing. No, honestly, what you guys have done every year, it's freaking incredible, and honestly, it's amazing. I want to really thank my guys, you know, my team, you know, everybody at Ganassi had really stepped that up this year. You know, we came last year with the hopes that we could really step it up and be here and be part of this, and we did. You know, Brian, all the engineers, you know, we won Pit Crew of the Year. You know, we really show people we can really get this job done. I think there's more to come from us. We're gonna work really hard to keep stepping it up. I wanna thank, you know, I know Target, all the partners. You know, we couldn't do this without you. It's been incredible. You know, I had Target as a sponsor before. We did great things in the past, and hopefully in the future we can bring, you know, a lot of trophies home. So I'm really happy about that. You know, first year with Chevy, it's been an incredible experience. You know, all the guys at ECR, their motors have been incredible. You know, I want to thank Teresa. I want to thank, you know, Felix and Chip. You know, Chip is Chip. I think if everybody knows Chip, I would say Chip is Chip. we had, you know, he was the guy I actually used to call my races when I ran Indy cars before, and we had a lot of fights. But we did. I don't know if anybody that watched the video. I get kind of emotional on the radio, and with Chip, it used to get a little bit out of hand, but it was fun. I love racing with him. He's a great guy, and I want to really thank him for everything he's done for me. As well, you know, my wife Connie, my kids. You know, when you have a tough day, you get home, you see them, you know, you don't really care about what happened that day, and that's very special. You know, I really want to thank everybody at NASCAR, all the officials. You know, you go there and they make you feel at home, and that goes a long way. You know, Sprint, great sponsor, great series. Thanks for the support, and I really want to thank as well all the fans. Without the fans, we couldn't do this. Y muchas gracias a toda la gente que me sigue. Thank you.
NASCAR, but now I have to admit I was one of those guys who thought it was just a bunch of cars going around in a circle for hours. Turns out it's an oval. All right, let's do this. NASCAR, what were you thinking? After 27 years in New York, you moved your party to Las Vegas, setting a bunch of NASCAR drivers loose in Vegas like locking Paul Abdul in a pharmacy. Every time Carl Edwards wins in a nickel slot, he does a backflip. And Carl Edwards, what were you thinking with that whole backflip thing? You know who does backflips? Little girls, trained monkeys, and mechanical dogs. Now, I was going to tell you to knock it off, but then I remembered something. You haven't won lately anyway. Sorry. And is it just me, or is Carl Edwards always on magazine covers without his shirt on? Yeah, I don't want to say Carl has his shirt off a lot, but Matthew McConaughey called and said, dude, button it up. And Juan Pablo Montoya, what were you thinking having such a great year? You're Colombia's most successful export since coffee, and the only driver in NASCAR who has 3 names where one of them isn't Junior. Scott Speed. Can you tell me what your parents were thinking? It's tough enough to be a NASCAR rookie without having to live up to a name like Speed. Unfortunately, this year you look less like Scott Speed and more like Scott Lapped. That was good. I liked it. Okay. Michael Waltrip, what were you thinking when you considered running only part-time next year? Actually, based on your number of wins, seems like you've been racing part-time for years. But you want the sponsors to know that you're still working for them full-time, because Waltrip does more plugs than Burt Reynolds' scalp. Mark Martin, what were you thinking? You fake retired so many times, Brett Favre thinks you're indecisive. You've had more last tours than the Stones. I mean, when this guy put winning a championship on his bucket list, he wasn't kidding, was he? It does make sense that Mark is such a great driver, considering, you know, he was around during the invention of the wheel. But Mark, you had a phenomenal year, and for that I say congratulations, you're an inspiration. What's that? He needs me to say it louder? Okay. I said, congratulations, Mark, you're an inspiration. And finally, Jimmy Johnson, what were you thinking going off and winning 4 straight championships? There's no competition for you. Do the rest of the guys a favor and take a year off. Go on Dancing with the Stars. Heck, you probably win that too. Congrats, Jimmy, but learn to share. That's all I'm saying.
See that? That was me clapping for myself. How awkward is that? I actually met Dr. Phil on purpose, and well, that's how you want to meet Dr. Phil. You don't want to meet him on accident, because that means you're on TV and you're going down, right? Whenever I tell people I met Dr. Phil, they're like, were you on the TV show with other people who talk to themselves, don't know who they are? Can you imagine that? Me on Dr. Phil? He's like, Frank, you got to stop pretending to be other people and just be yourself. Hey, I'll stop pretending to be other people as soon as you stop pretending to be a doctor. I'd rather take medical advice from Dr. Pepper. He could be no other kind of doctor, right? I mean, can you imagine going to the emergency room and you see Dr. Phil? I'd be like, I'd rather die. One guy I loved meeting was Charles Barkley. That was one of the best. When I met Charles Barkley, I walked up to him, was like, say hello to Min and me. And he was like, you do not sound like me at all. That's a terrible, horrible, really bad impression, Mr. Caladino. I'm like, it's Caliendo. I could care less. Now finish parking my car, knucklehead. You don't realize how important a voice is till you hear the wrong one in its place. There's a reason they use the voice of James Earl Jones as Darth Vader in Star Wars and not a guy like Al Pacino, right? Because this doesn't work. Luke, come to the dark side so we can rule the universe as Father and Son. I can't breathe in this thing. And I'm too stinking blind. He should do a NASCAR movie. That would be great. Pacino in a NASCAR movie, like Any Given Sunday, the football movie. Like you could make Oliver Stone's NASCAR. He'd give a big speech in it, but like he always does, like he doesn't really know what he's talking about, just uses a lot of words from racing and stuff like that. But he's selling it with everything he's got. He's out there like, as your coach, I don't know what to say really. 3 minutes before the biggest race of our professional lives, and it all comes down to this. You gotta stop crashing into that wall. You gotta draft. You gotta downforce. You gotta do other things to your opposition. We're gonna produce some dirty air out there, guys, and cause them some turbulence in their camshafts. Now, I don't care if you start in the pole position or the back of the pack, but I'm gonna tell you something. Don't you stop until you see that checkered flag and park and victory lane. Have I made myself clear? And you're watching like, what the heck was that all about? Yeah, he yells in movies for no reason too. That's why I see somebody cast Pacino as a librarian, just to see what he do. Because everybody be like, shh, there he is, like, where's the B section? Shh, where is the B section? Shh, and what the heck is the Dewey Decimal System? It's a system created by a guy named Decimal, you ding-dong. What are you, stupid? There's so many cool voices out there. Arnold Schwarzenegger has a cool voice. That voice you see when he asks a question, that cool voice, that, what you doing? Who are you? He can ask any question on school. Like, what color is your hair? Do you want to touch my bicep? Why are you looking at my belly button? You ever hear Schwarzenegger yell? You know what to do. Laugh, cry, run away, find shelter. He starts screaming, his face gets all contorted. He's like, there's a bomb. There's a what? There's a bomb. Get down. What are you doing? I'm yelling. That's how I yell. Why are you yelling? Because there's a bomb. At that point, even Mike Tyson's going, I can't believe such a big guy has such a funny voice. Hey, guys, enjoy the rest of the show. I'll be back in a little bit. Thank you very much.
Continuing with our 2009 Racing Heroes, our next driver moved up 5 positions during the chase. Both the NASCAR Nationwide Series and the NASCAR Camping World Truck Series have called him their champion.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, 7th place, Greg Biffle.
I think growing up, I really watched 3 drivers. One was Mark Martin, one was Ernie Irvin, and the other was Dale Earnhardt. I don't consider myself quite a hero as some of those guys, but little kids do consider you that. The fans are what makes our sport. I think one of my most memorable fan interaction moment was a couple of wounded soldiers came to the Dover race, and it kind of gave me inspiration to finish that race off and win that race. And we went to Walter Reed later that year and gave him the trophy. The fan interaction is what I really enjoy about the sport. To see him come out and be so passionate about our sport and what we do. People love cars. People either drive cars to and from work. Everybody can relate to a car and what we do every weekend.
Greg Biffle is the race leader, and by a huge margin.
They do not want Greg Biffle to be in the lead in the final 10 or 15 or 20 laps, because once he gets out there in that clean air, man, he can drive away from the field.
Nice when your car drives decent, you know? Makes it a little more fun.
To make the chase in 2009 was probably the highlight of our season.
It's been pretty impressive to watch Greg Biffle on these 2 tires stay out in front of Johnson here.
A hell of a show, Biffle. Hell of a show.
Please welcome driver of the number 16 3M4 from Vancouver, Washington, Greg Biffle.
Greg Biffle has qualified for the chase 3 times.
I don't know what to, good evening, I don't know what to say. I like the retirement.
I don't know. That was Ryan was talking about that. I don't know if that's serious in your mind or not, but congratulations, you guys, Mr. H, Chad. You guys did a great job. 4 in a row is got to be an incredible feeling. The other night I was here in Vegas at the craps table, and they rolled 4 7s in a row. That was pretty exciting. Other than I didn't make a bunch of money, I didn't get a big trophy, and I didn't make history. So I kind of know what you're feeling. Yesterday, my pit crew, the 3M Pit Bulls, were recognized at the Myers Brothers Luncheon with the Tissot Precision Pit Crew Award, and they absolutely deserved it. They were fast and consistent all season long on pit road, and that is invaluable at this level of competition where every 1/10 of a second counts. Greg Irwin has put together a knowledgeable and hardworking group of guys who are willing to do whatever it takes each week to make our cars better. Jack Roush, what can you say? He's always been a hands-on guy, and he's the driving force in achieving progress at Roush Fenway Racing. Well, this hasn't been the best season, most successful season for us. We've put together a great team and continue to make our cars better each week. I'm looking forward to working with Matt, Carl, and David next season, and I'm sorry to lose Jamie McMurray as a teammate. Although he did win a race this season, and I didn't, so good luck to Jamie next year. 3M is actually becoming more like a good group of old friends than a sponsor, sharing the same passion for racing and success that we do at the 16 team in Roush Fenway. We're incredibly lucky to have 3M on the car every week, as well as a bunch of other great partners like Coca-Cola, Valvoline, and the American Red Cross, each week on our Ford Fusion. Which reminds me, I'm very grateful to be driving for such a well-respected manufacturer like Ford, who builds great cars and trucks. By the way, if you're not driving one, I think you should be. Our sport would not function without the support of Sprint, Goodyear, Sunoco, and all the hardworking NASCAR officials. They're the first one to the track every weekend and the last ones to leave. The only people that might be there as much as they are the track promoters. They still manage to fill the stands each week and consistently improve their facilities for the fans and the competitors. Speaking of fans, we have the greatest fans ever, and we wouldn't be here tonight without them. They are loyal, hardworking group of people, and they deserve our gratitude. We've even added a few new fans in New England over the past few years, thanks to our association with John Henry and Fenway Sports Group. And now I have a baseball team to root for. Thank you, John. I haven't always been in a good mood after the races this season, but my wife, Nicole, and my 3 dogs, Foster, Gracie, and Savannah, are always there at the end of the day with a hug and a lick on the face. And the lick usually comes from the dogs, so I think that's the way it works. But I'd like to, in closing, I'd like to thank the men and women that defend our freedom each and every day. And I want to keep Jim Hunter and Jessica Olchey in our thoughts and prayers over the holiday season. See you guys in Daytona.
Next comes a 2-time series champion who dominated the regular season that precedes the chase for the NASCAR Sprint Cup. He led the series standings for 13 consecutive weeks.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Series, 6th place, Tony Stewart.
Tony Stewart banking on enough Sunoco Racing fuel on board that Chevrolet to take him to victory lane.
Tony Stewart is turning the engine off halfway down the front stretch, and he's coasting the car.
The gamble just might pay off for Tony Stewart. Here he comes for the first time as an owner-driver. Tony Stewart has won.
I can remember growing up in Indy and, going to the Indy 500 every year, and AJ was always the guy that I was pulling for every year. And then as I grew up and realized his history more and realized that our paths kind of went similar directions, that made him even that much bigger of a hero to me.
Tony Stewart proving that he is going to be a contender for the championship this year, picking up the win today.
How about this one, boys? Proud of you guys.
Everybody that made the chase this year has the ability to put together 10 solid weeks and be the champion. Everybody that made the chase is a legitimate threat to win.
Off the end of the back straightaway. It's all Tony Stewart. Tony Stewart is going to win the Coke Zero 400.
Talk about Superman and Watkins Glen. He's finished first or second the last now 6 years in a row here at this racetrack.
As much as I love driving race cars, if there's nobody to drive in front of, it takes a lot away from it. When you see all these people and thousands of people on race day, and it doesn't matter whether it's a short track or a super speedway, no matter who their favorite driver is, just having them there is an awesome feeling. Definitely the All-Star race in May was definitely probably one of the highlights of the year for me.
Don't look now. Here comes a red-hot Chevy. Tony Stewart is there. He's got a wheel inside. Slides underneath that Kemsa. New leader, Tony Stewart.
He'll win the 25th running of the Sprint All-Star race.
Please welcome driver of the number 14 Office Depot Old Spice Chevrolet from Columbus, Indiana, Tony Stewart.
Tony Stewart also won this year's NASCAR Sprint All-Star Race.
Thank you. I'm going to go with Ryan and Biffle on this. I think we probably all as drivers and car owners, I don't want to speak for Gene's half of the team, but I'll be willing to give my half a little bit of a donation to get Jimmy to retire. So, or at least just take a vacation for 5 or 10 years, just whatever you're comfortable with. But typically, if I'm not the one at the head table here, and let it be known that I am the last guy not named Jimmy Johnson to sit at the head table, so that's at least something to be proud of this year for me. But I've never really been that excited to give a speech about the top 10 finishing points, but this year is different. Not just because we finished in the top 6, but because we did it with what was essentially a new team. And at the same time, we did it with a lot of people who were part of the Haas CNC race team for the last 6 years, and nothing made me prouder than getting them into victory lane at the All-Star race for the first time. We won 4 races, obviously, this year, and 5 if you include that All-Star race win, and led the points for 13 straight weeks. And maybe next year they'll change the rules and the format a little bit, and we'll give the championship away at the halfway point or something. But it was awesome for both of our teams to be in the chase, and thanks for being so new. It was a hell of a year for Stewart-Haas Racing for our first season, and a lot of that success for Stewart-Haas Racing goes to some really key people. Gene Haas, thank you for allowing me to be a part of your organization and a part of your family. Joe Custer for putting this whole deal together. Joe was really the one that made this all happen for us, and I'm really appreciative to work with Joe. My new crew chief, Darian Grubb, you've been a part of my family now for a year, which I don't know if you realize really what you truly signed up for when you signed the contract last year, but you're stuck with me for a while. But I appreciate your friendship, and your wife, Yolanda's also. Bobby Hutchins, our competition director, thank you so much for everything that you've done this year to make Stewart-Haas Racing a success. I'm really proud of you, and we're thinking about your wife, so keep your head up, bud. Ryan Newman as a teammate. Ryan said how much fun we've had this year, and it's truly been that way. We have absolutely had a blast this year as a race team, and unfortunately, Ryan gets me in a little trouble off the track, which I've been pretty good at not being so bad at the last couple of years. Tony Gibson, thank you so much for everything you do with Ryan and working with Darian and myself. It really feels like an organization and 2 teams that have been together a long time. Brett Fruit and Eddie Jarvis, thank you guys for keeping me out of trouble and keeping me sane. Sorry about your sanity, but we'll work on that during the off season. And still we have some work to do, and that's made apparent by the same group of people that are sitting up here for the 4th straight year in a row. And it's up to us to find a way to beat these guys. But until then, it's your guys' moment to shine. Jimmy and Chad and Rick, you guys made history this year. Enjoy it. Congratulations again and again and again and again. But and at the same time, I know why they're so good and why you're so good on the racetrack, Jimmy. Hendrick chassis and engines are unbelievable. They're reliable, they're strong, and that's a big reason that Ryan and I are up here tonight. So thank you guys and what you guys do for us. I also like to congratulate Joey Logano. You did a great job this year, bud. I always pay attention every week still to that orange car, and I'm always paying attention to what you're doing, and I know you made the number 20 team proud this year, so you did a great job. Dan Hesse and everybody from Sprint, thank you guys so much for helping support a great series. The France family for everything that you've built and continue to keep the integrity of our sport the way it is. NASCAR officials, thank you guys so much for everything you do. You know, like Juan said, you guys are there and are the first people that we see every day, and you're smiling no matter what the weather's like, what the conditions are, and you guys are always there to make it fun for us. Of course, our NASCAR fans, we got the best in all of professional sports here, and we could not do it without you guys. You guys make it special. Obviously, the Office Depot, thank you guys for helping me take care of business this year, and Steve Odlin and Chuck Rubin, thank you guys so much for making it fun this year for us. Old Spice for instilling some swagger this year to Stewart-Haas Racing. Burger King for promoting the truth. U.S. Army for showing us all what it means to be Army strong. And Chevy, it's great to be back with you guys this year. It's I missed you guys for a year, but I'm glad it was a short duration. I'm proud to be back with GM and the Chevy brand, and I plan to be here for the rest of my career. Everyone at Haas Automation, thank you so much for what you guys do and the support that you give our race team. You guys are literally the ones that are making the tools that allow for all of our success. The Tornadoes brand, thank you guys so much to everyone, the Ruiz family. Thanks for joining our family at Stewart-Haas Racing. Also Coca-Cola, Quaker State, Simpson, Mac Tools, DuPont, Bosch, Smith Transport, Lincoln Welders, Norton, Atlas Copco, Sandvik, Safety Clean, Adidas, Sunoco, and Goodyear. Everybody at Goodyear, thank you guys so much for working so hard this year to give us a safe and competitive tire. We appreciate it. Everybody at Armor All, everybody at Bass Pro Shops, Goodies, JD Byrider, Oakley, and Articat, thank you guys for your support as well. And to our good buddy Jim Hunter, get well soon, buddy. We're thinking about you. And thank you guys, and happy holidays.
When we come back, top 5 drivers Denny Hamlin and Kurt Busch take the stage live from Las Vegas on Speed.
Well, in Vegas, you double down on 11, and that would be a very good bet because our next driver won 3 of the last 11 races, including the season finale.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. 5th place. Denny Hamlin.
It's a huge accomplishment for me to be in the position I am now to, maybe make a difference in some of these laps. My Denny Seats program that I have been giving away tickets to each and every race.
How you doing? How are you?
Clayton Smith.
Yeah, how are you? Nice to meet you.
I appreciate this, man.
No problem. You're Lillian?
Yes.
Nice to meet you.
I had over 17,000 entries and essays to read, the things that people do to try to get to a race. It's a great story and it's fun to do.
My gland, but thank you. I hope you win today. I appreciate it. We're gonna.
They are our sport. They're the ones that make it what it is. For us drivers to be able to take a parade lap around the racetrack and see 150,000 fans come out to watch us, it's just an amazing feeling.
Denny Hamlin's starting to become a strong player.
That was a big boy move by Denny Hamlin.
And it's fun. This is awesome.
Denny goes to victory lane. Denny Hamlin, he takes the victory at Martinsville Speedway, and Denny Hamlin comes to the checkered flag.
Everyone wants to win at their home racetrack. For me to come so close so many times and finally be able to break through definitely was my greatest accomplishment so far in the Cup Series.
The Commonwealth of Virginia cheers home its native son.
Please welcome driver of the number 11 FedEx Toyota from Chesterfield, Virginia, Denny Hamlin.
Denny led 1,380 laps this year, second best in the series.
Well, obviously, thank everyone for coming out tonight. It's great to be in here in Vegas. Definitely the change of scenery is welcomed by all us drivers. Obviously, there's a lot of things to go around tonight, but first you got to acknowledge the people at the front table. Luckily for me, I have some notes compiled from 06, 07, and 08, and now 09. But, like I said, every time since I've been in the Cup Series, you guys have been champions, so I may be your good luck charm. But I got to thank Chad and Jimmy and Mr. Hendrick on their accomplishments. It's definitely second to none, and especially of all sports. He definitely doesn't get the credit that he deserves in the grand scheme of things. We got to thank the 11 team and everyone at JGR, the families, what they make for the sacrifices for everybody to pretty much, work overtime and make sure we have race-winning cars each and every week. Got to thank Mike and the entire team. They've really done a really good job of providing race-winning cars this second half of the season, and that comes from a lot of work from the 6 months to a year before that, and it's a lot of hard work, and I think everyone knows that. FedEx, been around with you guys ever since the beginning. Just can't say enough for everything you've done for me and in my career, as well as all the employees, giving them something to cheer about, all 250,000 of them. Had a lot of great experiences with them this year. I can't just say enough also for Toyota and TRD. Everyone from California and TRD to overseas, you've really made our race team much better. Coca-Cola for being a great American beverage, and they also makes for a great mixer if you're into that kind of stuff. Wiley X, great sunglasses. I could have used the glasses at Homestead when the sun got in my eyes with Brad. Motorsports management for help building the Denny Hamlin brand. They've gone a long way and helped me with my career and kind of the development. Got to thank them. Sprint. Thanks for those two hot girls that always stand behind us and just nod their head like they know what we're talking about. But it's a great feeling. And thanks for I've got like 6 telephones. I appreciate all those as well. NASCAR. I mean, what can you say? Late night meetings, early morning trailer visits, and things like that. It's overall a pretty good place to race. Lastly, you kind of got to thank your parents. You as a kid, you always make good decisions and bad decisions, and they've been kind of the guidance for myself through my career, and I can't thank them enough for that, especially for all the good and bad moves here lately. And with that, just like to thank all the fans. Obviously, it's a new experience for them to be here at the awards banquet, and glad to have them. I've never seen so many fans stand around and watch us do that victory lap like they did yesterday. Can't thank y'all enough, and that's it. Oh, and my hot date. Thank you, Jordan.
Applause for all the drivers, all the performers, everybody making this show come together tonight, huh? You guys deservificate it, my friends. I miss President Bush. I really do. I miss having a president who seemed like he was always looking directly into the sun. Because every time he'd see me, he'd have this look on his face, just waiting for him to go, could somebody do me a favor and hand me a pair of sunglasses? Could somebody give me a visor? Sir, you mean advisor? No, a visor. What are you, a moron? People ask me, have you been working on the Obama impression? Like, have you been working on the Obama impression? Do you have that done? Yeah, I've been working on the Obama impression. I don't have the voice down yet. I'm relying mostly on my physical resemblance to him. That one took you guys too long. For those who are visually impaired, it's like Cartman from South Park trying to do it. Who can change it? I'll be fine. I have noticed that President Obama starts with 2 different phrases, and they are the following. Look, and here's the deal, okay? Look, and here's the deal. Now, if he says both of them, he thinks it's pretty important, and it's probably going to cost you a couple bucks. Didn't think that one would work. We're very divided. We really are. I noticed it most in the election. People come up and go, what'd you done if Hillary Clinton would have been elected president, Frank? What'd you done then? Well, you don't really do any presidents of women. What'd you done if Hillary Clinton would have been elected president? Listen, if Hillary Clinton would have been elected president, that would have been the easiest thing on earth. Because that would have meant, I am back and there will be no rules. Think about it. You'd have heard things like, First Lady, yes, please. Second Lady, why not? Third Lady, bring them on. Hey. Can you imagine the news stories you would have heard? They're unable to find the first gentleman again today. That's because they didn't check the hot tub. Things are fine. Where'd that laugh come from? He didn't have that laugh when he was president. That, I love me. Things our government does make me laugh sometimes. Our country, we do some crazy things, don't we? I mean, think about do you remember these 2 women that got captured in North Korea? Just so happened they were 2 beautiful women. 2 beautiful women get captured in North Korea, and what do? We send Bill Clinton on a private plane to go save them. Guys, I'm not even to the joke part yet. How long do you think it took Clinton to agree to that? Mr. Clinton, we have 2 women. I'm on my way. We didn't even say what we needed. You didn't have to. You said women and the magic number. Hi. Oh, that's just terrible right there. Now, I've been saving, I wanted to do some more John Madden stuff. I've been saving it because, you know, I was wondering the whole night, what would it be like if John Madden called a NASCAR race? I think it would go something like this.
Welcome once again. Chris Myers here for another great NASCAR race. Joining us in the booth, Hall of Famer, the football legend, John Madden.
Yeah, and, you know, I really like your smooth voice, Chris. But, you know, I'm new to the sport. But I like that the drivers drive. Unlike football, where the quarterbacks don't do anything involving quarters or backs. I mean, they should call those guys throwers. I mean, calling quarterbacks, that would be like calling NASCAR drivers swamp Twinkies. I mean, it doesn't make sense, Chris.
No, not really.
And you know what I really like driving? I hate flying. I like buses the best. You ever been in a bus? Hey, there's an idea. You get a NASCAR race with buses. You could call it the Greyhound 500. Hey, you guys can have that free of charge. What do you think, buses?
No, I like it, but they'd be a little too heavy. And you see, NASCAR's, there's designed so the air creates about 1,500 pounds of downforce on the car. That helps the tires stick to the track. The buses, now, you're listening, John? You're paying attention?
Yeah. Oh, look, a telestrator. I could run some clips on this. Hey, come on, let's talk in circles. Now, what you want to do is go around this track faster than anyone else goes around the track. I mean, the first one to get to the line for like the 1800th time, well, boom, you're the winner. But you got to avoid this wall over here, then not hit that guy right there. You need to avoid cars and walls, because then you're going to have a tough time trying to catch up to everybody. Hey, see right there how that car's totaled? I mean, this car's on the back of a tow truck. And I don't think the tow truck could go as fast as the other cars. Even if it could, the car on the back would be swinging all around you. I mean, how are you going to win doing something like that? There you go, Chris.
Those highlights, John, are brought to you by Craftsman, the official tool of NASCAR.
Wow, really, Chris? I thought you were the official tool of NASCAR. Boom! Hey, here's another idea. NASCAR races with ice cream trucks, and every couple of laps they have to feed the crowd. I mean, you can have that one, too. Where'd you get a brush that fast?
I almost clapped for myself again. All right, Chris Myers, everybody, Chris Myers. Did you ever wonder, hear that right there? That was my accidental Andy Rooner. Did you ever wonder if some of this stuff actually happens on purpose? I don't know about you, but that segue seemed a little bit too contrived. I don't like segues. I fell off one once. Listen, this is my last segment. I'm going at you on this one. Are you guys ready? Some people are way behind, like, President Bush doesn't look into the sun. Come on, here we go. I met Andy Rooney at the Super Bowl a couple years ago, and I had to stare at him because I've never seen anyone over 2 million years old before. I'm not bragging about it. Anybody, I snuck up on Andy Rooney. I'm not bragging about it. Anybody could sneak up on Andy Rooney. I snuck up on him. He's like, "Did you ever wonder if you hear voices that aren't really there? Did you ever wonder if a flock of birds could nest in your eyebrows?" Oh, those eyebrows are crazy. See, listen, I know I'm all over the place, okay? It's the Robin Williams theory of comedy, my friends. If you don't have a joke, you just switch voices. They were dancing back.
See what he did right there is he went in a circle over there and he went off on a tangent over there. You know what a tangent is?
I love tangerines. They're my favorite fruit. I like melons. That's it for me. Enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you guys very much. Congratulations, guys. Fantastic job. Everybody have a great night.
Our next driver was the 2004 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion. This season, he was in the series standings top 10 for 35 of the 36 weeks.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. 4th place, Kurt Busch.
I looked up to my dad. He was a local racer in the Las Vegas area, and you know, to watch him race every weekend and then have the car sitting there in the garage, it was the coolest thing in the world. Watching the Allisons, the father and son race that they had in 1988, finishing 1 and 2, battling it out.
Bobby Allison, Davey Allison, his son in second.
You know, I looked at my dad, I'm like, maybe that'll be us one day.
White flag, baby, take care of it, bring it to the house.
Kurt Busch will go to victory lane.
He'll take the checkered flag and win for the first time at Texas Motor Speedway.
Woo! Way to go, guys. Awesome deal. That's the old tortoise versus the hare, baby. Woo!
My best moment in 2009 was at Atlanta. To be able to win that race early in the year really came together from the off-season work. The aerodynamics, the body, and the engine, the chassis setup really felt like we were heading in the right direction, and it made us feel good about all the decisions we made during the off-season.
Your new leader is Kurt Busch in turn 4. The drag race to the checkered flag will be won by Kurt Busch in the Miller Lite Dodge.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Great job. Great job.
And of course, I drove around the racetrack in reverse to celebrate that victory.
Please welcome driver of the number 2 Miller Lite Dodge from Las Vegas, Nevada, Kurt Busch.
Kurt won his championship in the first year of the chase format.
Thank you. Good evening. It's great to be back here in my hometown of Las Vegas with all of our friends and competitors to celebrate the 2009 NASCAR Sprint Cup season and, of course, Jimmy's and the Hendrick team's championship. Congratulations, guys. With your monumental accomplishment in 4 straight championships, you guys certainly deserve all the praises that are coming your way. Rick, to have finished 1, 2, 3 in the standings is remarkable. And it makes us feel like finishing 4th in the Sprint Cup standings, that we're first in class. Congratulations, guys. Thanks to Brian France, Lisa, and Jim for your leadership in NASCAR, to Mike, Robin, John, and all the NASCAR officials for the great job that you do. To Sprint, Goodyear, Sunoco, for your ongoing commitment to our sport, we thank you. Although we did not win the championship this year in 2009, it was a huge success for our team. 2 wins, 21 top 10s, making the chase and finishing 4th in the series championship provides Penske Racing with great momentum as we enter 2010. Pat Tryson, we made some noise together at Penske Racing, didn't we? We won races, made the chase 2 out of the last 3 seasons, and most of all, helped make the team a better team. Thanks for all your hard work and friendship over the last 3 seasons. Thanks to my Penske Racing NASCAR teammates Sam Hornish Jr., David Stremme, and now Brad Keselowski, as well as to my entire Miller Lite Dodge team and all the hard-working Penske Racing employees. To our engine department and to our engineering department, thanks, guys. I know I don't say it enough, but I truly do appreciate each and all of you and for the work that you give. None of this would be possible without our sponsors. Thanks so much to Miller Lite. 2010 will mark Miller's 28th consecutive year as a major team sponsor, and that has to be a record. To Tom Long and Andy England for your leadership at Miller, and to the Miller Coors distributors for making it all happen. By making it to victory lane and the chase again this year, there was a lot to celebrate. Many Miller Lights to be raised and reverse victory laps to be made. Celebrating along with us were other great sponsors like Mobil 1, Lennox, Snap-on, PPG, Mazak, Bosch, Freightliner, Gators Eyewear, and PT's Pubs. I especially want to recognize our partners at Dodge. To have Dodge continue to support Penske Racing through such tough times means so much. To Ralph Giles, CEO of Dodge, and to all the Dodge dealers and associates, I look forward to many Dodge Charger victories in 2010. I'm convinced the best thing that ever happened in my career was getting the opportunity to work for Roger Penske. Roger, you along with your great team of leaders continue to show me unwavering support, and it has molded me into a much smarter driver and a better individual. It's indeed an honor to be part of this great Penske Racing team. Thanks so much to my family, my mom, dad, grandma, and little brother Kyle for all that you do. Special thanks to the KBI employees and to, of course, my wonderful wife. Eva, you are the love of my life and forever my #1 teammate. You have made me a better husband and a better man. In closing, thanks to all the fans, not just the Kurt Busch fans, but all fans of NASCAR. Race fans, join me as we take the first step tonight in beating those Hendrick boys, because it's time to go to the bar for Miller Lite. Happy holidays. See you in Daytona.
We're down to the top 3. Up next on Speed as Jeff Gordon and Mark Martin take the stage live from Las Vegas.
Well, tonight is largely about honoring our new 4-time champion. We cannot overlook the outstanding season turned in by our third-place driver. He also has won 4 championships and is one of our sport's true greats.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. 3rd place, Jeff Gordon.
None of the past matters. Today's about the day. I believe you're the best car out there. Everybody do their job. We're going to be good when it matters.
Every kid that comes up to me that says, you know, you're my hero, or says, hey, I hope I get to race against you one day. You have to remind yourself constantly of putting yourself back into, you know, when you were a child and you know, how you looked up to these individuals. That was me at one time.
Jeff Gordon now really closing.
That was a great job by Jeff Gordon. That's about the best you can do right there.
You're the best here, man. You know how to do it.
I mean, the fans are what make the sport what it is. You know, I've been racing a long time, and there's no other series that I ever went to that had the mass of fans and people that we have, or the avidness that we have.
Pop the champagne. Gordon wins for the first time at Texas Motor Speedway.
Please welcome driver of the number 24 DuPont Chevrolet from Vallejo, California, Jeff Gordon.
Jeff was the series points leader for 9 weeks this season.
Well, thank you, and good evening, everyone. You know, well, tonight gives us the opportunity to publicly thank our sponsors and the companies and the individuals that allow us to participate in a sport that we all love. We know the main objective is to recognize the achievements of the championship team. Jimmy, Chad, and the entire 48 team, I mean, everyone at this head table. What more could be said that wasn't said last year, or the year before, or the year before? Unbelievable, guys. Extremely impressive. Congratulations. Rick and Linda, congratulations to you on your 9th Cup Series championship and your first, I said, 1, 2, 3. And I got to say, I've seen their trophy cases. You're going to have a tough time getting that trophy in that trophy case. It's grown since I last won a championship. You know, I really don't think any of us could have ever scripted a better celebration for the 25th anniversary of Hendrick Motorsports. And I'd personally like to thank each and every one of those employees at Hendrick Motorsports. Phenomenal job, and let's give them a round of applause for what they did this year. While the number 24 team, led by Steve Letarte, made great strides this year, the fact that Steve and the guys are back in Charlotte, already working hard and focused on 2010, shows just how bad we want number 5. And it's the competition, especially the success of our teammates, that inspires us to constantly improve. And speaking of number 5, how about Mark Martin? Mark, what you and the 5 team did, and Alan, this year was incredible. It was awesome having you as a teammate. I've always been a big fan, but having you side by side in those meetings and racing against you as a teammate was just a great year for me, and I know how much you enjoyed this. And who says you can't still get it done at 50? 2010 will be our 18th year with DuPont and its businesses, a successful partnership that began at the end of 1992. Pepsi has also been a refreshing sponsor of the number 24 team for more than a decade. And we were happy to visit Victory Lane this year with National Guard on board in their first season. Chevrolet, Bank of America, Purolator, Time Warner Cable, Delphi, Bosch, Freightliner, CarQuest, Quaker State, Siemens, Tylenol, and EA Sports Your continued support is an important factor in our success. NASCAR, we appreciate your efforts to ensure we're participating in the most exciting and competitive racing series in the world. Sprint, Sunoco, and Goodyear, for your continued support, we thank you so much. Thanks to all the employees of JGI and Performance PR Plus, to the men and women who serve in our armed forces. We cannot thank you enough for all that you do for our great country. To the fans, I know we have a bunch of them here tonight. To those that are here, to those that are watching at home, absolutely. Thank you so much for all that you do. We just can't thank you enough for making this sport what it is today. I want to thank my mom, my stepfather, they're the ones that got me here, my wonderful wife Ingrid, our little princess Ella. Thank you so much for all your support and being so amazing as a wife and the most incredible mother on the planet. Thank you so much. Finally, Rick, I don't know if you even know this, but you taught me something that I'll never forget. You taught me to live big and small. Be big in your passion for what you do, what you believe in, and in your successes, but be humble and appreciative and give thanks to all those things. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. Good night.
From rocking chair to runner-up. A part-time presence last season, a full-blown championship contender this year. This driver turned back the clock, having arguably the best year of a NASCAR career that dates to 1981.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Series. Second place, Mark Martin.
My real role model was my dad. And then coming up through the ranks, you know, I raced with a lot of drivers that I really looked up to. Richard Petty, you know, and then I made friends with Bobby Allison and Darrell Waltrip. From the years that I started racing, having, you know, fans coming up and getting my autograph, and it's that kind of support all the way through that really makes it all work.
They may call him the old man, but he hasn't forgotten how to win a race.
Well, Mark Martin has waited for 4 years to go back to victory lane, and he has done it.
Pulls out of gas. Martin takes the lead in turn number 3.
We got her, baby! Yeah!
Mark Martin is going to win for the 3rd time this year.
Woo! I can't believe we won!
Checkered flag is out. Mark Martin wins.
I can't believe it. Man, that's big. That is big. Mark, you didn't win. You crushed him, baby.
The yellow flag and the checkered flag for Mark Martin as he will win at New Hampshire.
The most important thing that to me is that I've had fun.
You are unbelievable. Unbelievable how good you are. I'm speechless. I can't talk right now, boys.
This has been the most fun that I ever remember having. I've been really happy and having a good time.
Please welcome driver of the number 5 Kellogg's CarQuest Chevrolet from Batesville, Arkansas, Mark Martin.
Mark's 7 poles this year was a single-season career best total.
Thank you, guys. I want to thank Sprint and NASCAR for bringing this banquet out here to Las Vegas. It's been a big time. I really have enjoyed it. And I really want to thank all the NASCAR fans everywhere, but especially those longtime fans of mine that have been with me through all the ups and downs and were always there cheering me on and supporting me. But there was another whole group this year that came on board as our performance started to really build momentum through the season. And most of that group was my age or maybe even a little bit older. That was really fun. I can't tell you how much it meant to me. It seemed like every driver's intro from the middle of the season on, the roar got a little bit louder. It was truly incredible. You know, it really meant a lot to me. I've got a hot date tonight too, guys. Arlene, I still remember how I felt 26 years ago when we met. It was a little funny feeling down here, kind of like butterflies. I remember because I still get that today. You've been the best thing that ever happened to me. Jimmy Johnson, man, you sure know how to steal a guy's thunder, don't you? Congratulations, man. You really work hard at it, and you are so incredible, and you are going to get the credit that you deserve one day. Keep it up, buddy. And Chad, I've watched firsthand how hard you work for the credit that you get, and you earn it. Congratulations to you and everybody on that team. You guys are incredible. Mr. Rick Hendrick, man, you just win everything there is in NASCAR. You know, you make history, win all these championships. You're a big winner. Congratulations, and thanks for letting me be a part of it. But that's not the most impressive part of it. To me, you are a true champion as a person, such an incredible individual that affects so many people in a positive way, and I'd like to be more like you. I've had a great year this year working with Kellogg's and representing all the great products. It was a blast, and I want to thank all the CarQuest teammates all over the country for letting me be a part of their team. It's really been fun, and I look forward to doing that again next year. I want to congratulate Chevrolet on their 33rd Manufacturers Championship. Believe me, I know how the competition feels because I was one of those for many, many years. You really know how to frustrate the competition. And I'd like to invite everybody to check us out in 2009 at GoDaddy.com. There's a lot of great partners and sponsors that are involved at Hendrick Motorsports, and I'd like to thank them. Stanley, Adidas, and as you can see, I don't have them on yet, but I will be changing shortly. Delphi, Bosch, Bank of America, Freightliner, National Guard, Purelator, Quaker State, Siemens, and Time Warner Cable. Also like to thank Wiley X, ER Extra, and Goodyear for all their support. All the success we had this year wouldn't be possible without great people. And Alan Gustafson is such an amazing combination of education, technical understanding and know-how, and hands-on at the racetrack practicality, all molded together. He's such a strong person and a great leader, a loyal friend, and we really have good communication and chemistry. A couple of things that make that work. One thing that I'm really proud of is that he's not intimidated by my experience, although he respects it. And that's important. But I think the most important part is that I know how much smarter he is than me, so I just pretty much keep my mouth shut and listen. I want to thank everybody that ever put their hands on that 5-car, all the team. They are so excited and so charged up. I could feel the energy every day that I went to work, and it made it so much fun. And every time I sit down in that 5-car, I realize that it's the nicest thing that I've ever been in. It's really, really awesome to have a team that wins together and that fails together. We have each other's back, and it really feels good. But it goes way beyond that. You know, I want thank the engine shop, the chassis shop, and the fabricators, because I return it to them tore up pretty often, and they return it right back to me like brand new. Incredible job. I want to congratulate everyone, every man and woman at Hendrick Motorsports on making history this year on multiple fronts. Your dedication to excellence is unparalleled in motorsports, and I see a little bit of Rick Hendrick in each and every one of them. It's just, it's really, really cool. And I want to thank Chad, Steve Letarte, Lance McGrew, and Tony Uri Jr. for welcoming me inside their circle. I can't tell you what a thrill it's been for me to work with them. And my teammates, Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and Jimmy Johnson. These three guys have awesome strengths in different areas that I was able to draw from that made me a better person and a better race car driver. I have some really important people around me that keep all the wheels rolling in the same direction so that I can focus on racing and not worry about the rest of the stuff. Arlene, Benny Ertel, Kent Dewey, Lance Landers, Laura Buck, and Bart Starr do a great job. They're very committed to what they do. And I know some of you have heard me talk about this before, but it's important to me, so I want to go over it one more time. Something that I learned this year. I was so fortunate to be able to gather up a bunch of trophies. Nothing in the world, I can't describe to you what it feels like to stand in victory lane and share that with that race team. It's an incredible feeling. I bring the trophies home, set them down there. I walk past them week after week, and after so long, I hardly notice them when I walk by. And if I stop and look at them, I still don't quite feel that enthusiasm and excitement that we had that night. But what is important and what does last is the quality time that I got to spend with my family this year, the awesome relationship with people at Hendrick Motorsports that I built, the really special times that I spent with the competitors and the media and the fans. You know, that stuff will last a lifetime with me. And I just want to thank everyone for making 2009 a year that I will always remember. Thank you all. God bless you.
Stay with us here on Speed as championship owner Rick Hendrick and four-time champion driver Jimmy Johnson take the stage here in Vegas.
So what is the secret of 4 straight championships? Jimmy Johnson will be the first to admit that without the incredibly high level of performance of the entire Hendrick Motorsports team, winning 1 championship would be impossible. Let's learn what makes the 48 team tick with this brief video from our friends at Sprint.
Teamwork. It is the fuel that allows common people.
Common people.
Common people.
To attain uncommon results.
We know it's not just Jimmy Johnson, the driver, and Chad Knaus, the crew chief. It's all those other men and women that work on the 48 on the road and back at the shop that make this team one of the best.
I think that if you really look at our team, it's a solid, cohesive group of guys that want to work together. They definitely set aside their personal goals for the greater good of the organization.
I think the phrase we have of one team, one goal really sums up this team. It's a group of guys that all they want to do is win.
Every person on the team has a desire to be the best. And if they don't feel like they're the best, then they push that much harder.
We're all working towards a common goal, and we want to win, and no matter who gets the praise, who gets the glory.
There is no other team that I think is closer than these guys are. You know, they eat together and play together and work hard together, and they're just dedicated to each other.
So if you don't have that chemistry amongst everyone on the team, it doesn't work out.
And I think we're real fortunate to have good people like that all get along, work really well together, help each other when someone else needs help.
Rick Hendrick will be the first to say it's the team that together won this title.
They want to win races for the 48 team. Now that's not just for Hendrick Motorsports, it's not for their own personal stuff, it's for the guy that works next to him, for whoever their teammate is that might be having some difficulty. They try to work with one another and help each other.
I'm not saying it's easy for me to go to work every day, but it is, because I just really enjoy coming here, and it all works out real well.
It's a special feeling when you put on the track shirt and it has the Lowe's insignia on it and the Hendrick insignia on it, the 48 on the sleeve. It's just it's a feeling that you don't get in a lot of places.
A lot of these crew members on the 48 team have been with this team for all the championship runs.
I think that if you look at our team, we have guys that are very, very good friends.
Feels like, you know, my brothers out there, and a lot of them you can rely on when you're not even at the track.
You spend, so much more time with the guys here. You have a lot of fun together, and you accomplish great goals together.
It's a giant brotherhood with the guys that we work with, and they understand that.
If you have a group of people that really care about one another and want to work with one another, you can go and achieve anything.
Well, as Mike mentioned, we wondered what the secret was. I think it's pretty safe to say it's teamwork, it's family, it's Mr. H, Chad, Jimmy, everything they do as a team. The team, of course, in the room, sitting in the back. Guys, what you did this season, absolutely amazing. And as we mentioned earlier, we also need to, of course, thank the fans. Many of the drivers have come up, and they say it so much more eloquently than I ever could. But the fans who are watching at home, the fans who are here in the room, and every fan who's ever been to a race or watched one on television, we thank you. Let's welcome back to perform his hit, World to Me, ladies and gentlemen, David Gray.
na na
be dancing like a starling. Won't you be my little darling? Baby, baby, you're the one. Baby, baby, you're the one. Me.
We begin our presentations to the championship team with the Champion Car Owners Award. Please welcome NASCAR's president, Mike Helton.
Thank you, Mike. It's been well discussed tonight about how special this evening is, and it is special. 9 car owner championships, which ties for the most with Petty Enterprises, finishing 1, 2, 3 in 2009. And tonight's the second time as a car owner that Rick Hendricks picks up his 4th consecutive Sprint Cup Championship Car Owner Award. So it is very special, so much so that I recruited some help. Please make welcome to the stage NASCAR's First Lady, Betty Jane France.
Good evening. NASCAR has had many iconic figures throughout its rich history, and Rick Hendrick certainly falls into that category. Through the years, he has not only won our respect, but our hearts as well. He has achieved so much while overcoming so many challenges along the way. He represents our sport well in so many venues, not only at the racetrack, but earlier this year he donated 10 Chevrolets to a program helping low-income families in need of transportation in the Northeast. Several years ago, he was inducted in the Horatio Alger Association of Distinguished Americans. He has had many great seasons, but this season was by far one of his best. It is my pleasure to present Rick Hendrick with the Bill France Award of Excellence, which honors individuals who have contributed greatly to our sport. Please join me in congratulating Rick Hendrick, who we now welcome to the podium.
Oh, man, I wasn't expecting this one. Betty Jane, thank you so much. I didn't even know you were here, and I think this award means so much to me because of the relationship I had with Bill France and the respect I had for him and what he's meant to this sport and so many people here in the room. I'm sorry. I want to thank all the fans, and you know, I've listened to all the guys tonight, and my speech, I don't think I'm going to be able to do it, but there's one thing that from the heart, as a kid growing up in Virginia on the Backer farm, and man, I'm so old. I went to not North Wilkesboro, but to dirt track races to watch Richard Petty and Lee Petty race Buck Baker and Buddy Baker. So Joey Logano, you think Mark Martin's old man, I'm really dirt. But when I sit here and I think about Roger Penske and Jack Roush and Joe Gibbs, one of my heroes, and I think about Chip Ganassi and his legend Felix, and all the teams and what Tony Stewart's done this year, you know, you're humbled by loving something so much and being able to participate in it. And I never take it for granted. I want you to know that every time I come to one of these, whether it's win, lose, or draw, Linda and I have this funny feeling that we can't really believe that it's really happened. And Chad, Jimmy, and the Lowe's team, I don't know what to say. Man, 4 in a row. I stood up after your second championship and said, you're setting a new standard 2 years later, you know, competing at the highest possible level every single week. You're constantly raising the bar. And when someone isn't there to challenge you, you find a way to challenge yourselves. And they're the marks of a true champion. And now you officially are the standard. Congratulations on you making history. And I want to thank you guys. And I want to congratulate Mark, Martin, and Alan. Mark, I knew you'd make a large contribution into our company. And finishing second in the points is just incredible. And I'm going to steal something from Joey Logano. Joey, you're 19 years old, buddy. You're going to be an awesome guy. He said, Mark Martin, I want to be as good as you are when I'm 50. And that'll be 2040. And boy, that hit me like a rock. I said, that means it'll be 2050. I won't be around that long. But Mark, you're unbelievable. What you've accomplished, and you and Alan, and how you've contributed to our organization, we'll never be able to repay you. I'm going to take this second place trophy home to my mom. Jeff and Stevie, I know you're not satisfied with third place, but congratulations on a great season. And Jeff Gordon, thank you for everything you do, not only the championships and all the contributions you've made to Hendrick Motorsports, but also your friendship. That's the most important thing to me. Dale Jr., congratulations on being the most popular driver 7 years in a row. And I know you and Lance can't wait to get to Daytona and get a new year started. These folks would be the first ones to tell you that it isn't about individuals as it is about teamwork. To finish 1, 2, 3 in the points is a credit to everyone in our organization. So I want to recognize all our folks here tonight and back home in Charlotte, making Hendrick Motorsports' 25th anniversary such an unforgettable year. And to anyone and everyone who's ever contributed to our organization, thank you. What you've accomplished together is truly amazing, and I'm humbled to call my friends and family, and call you my friends and family and teammate. And a special thanks and a congratulations to Robert Neblock and all of those associates. You're true partners, a huge part of our team, and we can't thank you enough for what you've done for Hendrick Motorsports and your support of NASCAR racing. You deserve every bit of this success. Thank you, Robert. In these tough economic times, you know, we really appreciate all of our partners, Kellogg's and CarQuest on the 5 team, and DuPont Pepsi and the National Guard on the 24, and AMP Energy and the Guard on the 88, and Adidas, Bank of America, Freightliner, Gatorade, GoDaddy, and Time Warner Cable. And Quaker State, thanks for keeping those engines running. Our technical partners like Bosch, Delphi, and Siemens. We couldn't do it without you. And the Chevrolet, and everyone at General Motors. I want to congratulate you on all of the success, your 33rd Manufacturers Championship and your 26th Drivers title. Thank you for the 25 years. You know, racing's tough business, and we couldn't do it without the support and encouragement of our loved ones. Linda, I want to thank you for 37 years of racing, from washing parts to selling T-shirts out of the back of the van to taking care of the kids. I love you so much. And I want to say hello to my family back home, and especially my niece Alicia, who's in the hospital there in Charlotte. Thanks to everyone for all the thoughts and prayers. And thank you, Sprint, our title sponsor. And it's great to have you in our sport, along with Goodyear and Sunoco. And to the France family and everyone at NASCAR, we appreciate everything you do. And I want to congratulate Kyle Busch, Ron Hornaday on their championships, and to all the teams and drivers that made it in the chase this year. And how about Tony Stewart and everyone at Stewart-Haas Racing? You know, this is a first-year team, and to come out and put 2 cars in the chase, it makes it a lot easier than it really is. It's been an incredible 25 years, and there's a lot to celebrate tonight. But above all, I'm proud to be a part of the NASCAR community, the people in this ballroom, the friends, and especially the fans watching at home. You folks make it special. And you're also the reason that NASCAR has such a bright future. In closing, I'd like to say a thank you to all the men and women in uniform that make so many sacrifices for our country. Linda and I had the privilege of being in Israel for a week, and I'm going to tell you, if you want to see some folks that have to spend every day of their life just to be free, we need to get down on our knees and thank the good Lord we live in the USA. And with that, again, congratulations to Jimmy and Shani and Chad and Lisa and Robert and Melanie and Jeff, and Jeff's getting married. I can't say enough about you guys. Thank you for this history-making season. Good night, and God bless our country. Happy holidays. Thank you so much.
Every sport has a team that sets the standard. In NASCAR, it's been said that a dynasty was in the making. The dynasty has been delivered.
Because we live in the here and now and one season moves quickly to the next, it may be quite some time before we all truly appreciate what an extraordinary accomplishment this season has been for our champion.
NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion, Jimmie Johnson.
Jimmie Johnson is going to be the 2006 NASCAR champion.
The celebration is on for the second year in a row for the Lowe's Chevrolet team.
Jimmie Johnson makes history.
2008 Sprint Cup champion, 3-peat baby.
A couple of heroes as a kid growing up, but the first one was Rick Johnson. I grew up in El Cajon, California, where motocross was everywhere, and we had the same last name, and Rick actually lived with my family for a little bit before his professional career. NASCAR wasn't all that popular in Southern California, but my dad took me up to Riverside Raceway when, I guess in '86, I was up there, and maybe the last race they had, and I remember walking all the way around the racetrack watching, and I also remember this car owner that was driving a Folgers number 25 car. I thought it was so cool that this guy, Rick Hendrick, was actually the car owner and driving himself.
Green flag is out at 2x2 down the front stretch. They're all locked together.
To be able to win the Brickyard back-to-back events, to hold off Mark Martin in the fashion that we had to, it was a really, really special day.
You are absolutely incredible.
Jimmie Johnson becomes a 3-time winner at the Brickyard. Jimmie Johnson wins it at Dover.
That was all you today, bro. That was all you, man. Awesome job.
A picture-perfect afternoon for Jimmie Johnson. the California native on a California cruise. He is the first four-time winner at the Auto Club Speedway.
The sixth time he will take the checkered flag at Lowe's Motor Speedway as Jimmy Johnson drives to victory tonight.
You've got to be kidding me. Woo! Awesome job, dude.
And the one thing that Jimmy Johnson did not want to happen, happened.
Straight to the garage, Jimmy, straight to the garage. Clear and take our time, get this thing fixed up.
It has been a team effort, not just those from the 48 crew, but from the 24 and the 88 have come over to assist as well.
Well, you got to give that guy right there a lot of credit for this. Rallied his team after last week and having so many problems. They came here and they've been the car to beat all day long.
Good job, everybody. Great job. Proud of all of you.
We've earned it. We've fought for it all year. Do what we do it better than everybody else, and we will be the victor. 48 on 3. 1, 2, 3.
I don't know how to begin to thank all of you guys. Thank you so much.
Open up the history books, folks.
These guys are truly incredible.
To climb out of the car tonight and to hear the fans on their, see them on their feet and to hear the roar, man, it gave me goosebumps. So hoisting that trophy and just feeling through my body and just so proud of what we've done. Such a cool experience.
Please welcome driver of the number 48 Lowe's Chevrolet from El Cajon, California, Jimmy Johnson.
I think Jimmy was hoping I was going to give his speech for him. For the presentation of the Series Championship Trophy, welcome now the Chief Executive Officer for our Series sponsor, Sprint, Dan Hesse.
Well, Jimmy Johnson and Sprint share something in common. We both like the number 4. He's the first to 4-peat. We're the first to 4G. You know, you guys like speed. You should try it. Anyway, like the wireless industry, Jimmy's environment changes and gets more competitive each year. He won in 2006, but as the car and the technology evolved to be safer in 2007, Jimmy continued to win. But as talented and as tenacious as Jimmy is, he'd be the first to say he could never have reached this milestone without the help of an awful lot of people. Hendrick Motorsports, you demonstrate what organizational excellence means. Rick and Jeff Gordon, Chad Knaus, the number 48 crew, and the hundreds of dedicated people who give Jimmy the tools he needs to be successful. Well done. To Lowe's, congratulations on the successful partnership you've shared since the inception of the number 48 team 8 years ago. And Jimmy, even with all of your accomplishments, you have remained a grounded, genuinely nice person. You and Shani have dedicated yourselves to helping others through charitable works, showing us who you really are. On behalf of everyone at Sprint, I am proud to present a check for the 4th straight year of $6.6 million to the 2009 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion, Jimmy Johnson.
I know Jimmy's very glad to see that trophy because all evening he and Rick have been scheming how they were going to get the big one onto the plane for the ride home. For the traditional presentation of the spouse gift and NASCAR championship ring, we're pleased to be joined by NASCAR Chairman and CEO, Brian France.
What a night. I share everybody's welcome with the fans that we've had tonight join us in this celebration. Great to have our fans part of this evening. You know, Shanny, this is the time. First of all, when you see me, the good news is you're about to hear from him. So that's the time of the evening. But Shanny, you represent all the wives and partners who really fill out the teammate component of racing. And we know the sacrifices. As a matter of fact, my wife, Amy, does the same thing. So this is a diamond necklace that NASCAR is going to present to you, so you'll always know you're part of the team in this championship. Appreciate it. You bet. You bet. And champ, I told you in South Florida that welcome to history. Here's the diamond ring that will always remind you of that history in 4 championships. We're very proud of you.
Thank you.
Okay, Jimmy.
Guess we're out of people, so it's my turn. First and foremost, just a big thank you to everyone. To hear these great remarks from people I respect so much and work with and compete against in the sport means the world to me. I've always wanted to be respected for the effort I put in and the hard work that I put into my sport. And to receive this tonight and over the last 3 or 4 years has been just amazing. I've spent the majority of my life being a mid-packer and kind of the underdog, so to be here with 4 consecutive championships is pretty damn cool. So I'm enjoying this. I know last year I was up here in Cale Yarborough, one of my heroes, kind of threatened me to not win a 4th. So Cale, I'm sorry, buddy. We went off and did it. Very proud of this accomplishment, and I'm sure I'll find you at some point and you'll put me in a headlock. It's just been, as I said, just such an amazing experience. And along the way, I've had some great people help me and in fact, share their home with me. And I want to congratulate Ron Hornaday on his 4th championship and the fact that he gave me a couch to sleep on years back when I first moved to North Carolina. I also want to congratulate Kyle Busch and Joey Logano for winning the Rebestis Rookie of the Year award. I want to thank everybody at Hendrick Motorsports. Clearly, everybody in every department has done an amazing job giving myself and my teammates all the tools we needed to go out on track and to perform. My 3 teammates, I can't thank you guys enough, and as Mark said, there's so much to learn from everyone in these meetings. It's really made us a stronger race team and unit. I want to thank Mark, and Mark, man, I was pulling for you. You are such a stud and have pushed me to be the best driver I can be, and I've really enjoyed getting to know you over the years. Over the years as well, but this year to a whole new level, and I can't thank you enough. Junior, you always keep it lighthearted and witty, and I can't thank you enough for that. And buddy, we'll have you fixed up next year, and can't wait for that 88 car to be up front. Jeff, I don't know what you saw in me, but thank you. This has been a dream come true for me, and to grow up idolizing you as a kid and thinking that and hoping and knowing that you were the guy that opened the door up for other racers with a different background to come into the sport. To be here today as a 4-time champion and have you as a friend and such an amazing teammate, I can't thank you enough. Chad, I want to strangle you at times. I think I've threatened to do that at a race or 2. And at the same time, you're like family, you're a brother. You have dedicated your life to this race team and to myself. And I can't ask for any more, man. I just can't thank you enough for everything. You're an amazing man, and I look forward to the years to come. Rick and Linda Hendrick, thank you for bringing me into your family, giving me the opportunity, supporting Shanny and I and my family, and giving us all, making our dreams come true, really, in this sport today. As everyone has pointed out, Rick, you and Linda lead by example and are amazing people and inspire all of us to do the best job that we can. So I love you guys, and I can't thank you enough. Lowe's and Robert and Melanie Niblock, thank you for the amazing support of this race team. the future that we all share together. And I just look forward to keeping all the employee owners excited for the years to come. We know that you employee owners are there rooting for us each and every week. Thank you for that. Chevrolet, I want to get into the sponsors and also take a moment to recognize Chevrolet and the fact that the only thing I've raced in my professional career has been a Chevrolet, and that's something I'm very proud of. You guys have kind of guided me through the ranks and have led me to this form of racing. I grew up thinking that people that raced on asphalt were sissies because everything I did was on the dirt. And to be in North Carolina and Racing Cup and having this all come true is pretty awesome. I want to thank everybody also at Gatorade, Gargoyles, Sunoco, Tylenol, Bank of America, Bosch, CarQuest, Delphi, Freightliner, National Guard, Purelator, Quaker State, I know I'm getting to the end, hold tight, Siemens, Time Warner Cable, and CAA, and also Goodyear, and all that you guys do for us every week. The France family, Betty Jane, Brian and Lisa, thank you for your vision and your hard work that you put into the sport. Mike Helton, thank you for leading the sport as you do. Darby and all of your guys and gals, thank you for what you do each and every week. The great people at Sprint has taken our sport to a whole new level, and I'm so proud to race in the Sprint Cup and have this as my home and look forward to the future and what you're going to do for us. Everybody in the Jimmy Johnson offices at JJR, the Jimmy Johnson Foundation as well. We've done some amazing things here in the last few years with the foundation, and that wouldn't be possible without our sponsors and the fans and all of their support, so thank you to all of you as well. Alan Miller, buddy, we've been through a lot together. I've always got your back, and I know that you've got mine. Thank you for everything. Christine Curley and everybody at GMR, thank you for all of your support. And Curley, I know I put you through the ringer from time to time, and you probably do the same back, but thank you for working so hard for us. My friends and family, I wouldn't be here without the support of all of you. You've shaped me and molded me into the man I am today. It's been through a lot, and again, I just couldn't do it without all the support. And speaking of support, my wonderful wife, Chandra, man, it'd just be impossible to do it without you. Thank you for your love, your friendship, your commitment to me in the sport, and letting me pursue my dream. Finally, obviously we're all getting ready for Daytona, and there's a lot of exciting things coming for the 2010 season. I'm really excited to have HBO follow us along and take our sport to the next level and show everybody what our sport's about through the 24/7 show that we're going to do. So as we get ready for that and Daytona in general, everybody have a great holiday season. A big thank you to the men and women that serve our country. A thank you to the fans. And man, we've took 3 to win 4. We've won 4, so maybe we can win 5. And that's what I'm going to try to do. Thank you all very, very much.
Champion. Jimmy Johnson becomes the champion for the second year in a row. And Jimmy Johnson wins his 3rd consecutive NASCAR Sprint Cup Series championship. Jimmy Johnson is a 4-time Cup winner.
As we bring the members of our head table over in front of the giant Sprint Cup trophy, looking around the room, it's easy to see we're surrounded by greatness. All the banners of our past champions on the walls. But it's pretty easy to see that the greatness that's collected on the stage and the men and women in the back of the room and back at the shop who've made it possible are the ones who leave us with our jaws dropped to the floor and our heads shaking in awe at what you guys have been able to do.
Thank you. A grand celebration of a tremendous achievement. Hard to believe that in just 9.5 weeks, 2010, we're going to do this again.
Thanks for that reminder.
We'll see you on Fox and Speed with NASCAR 2010 from Daytona in less than 10 weeks. Happy holidays, everyone. Thanks for joining us.
A great night here as NASCAR celebrates the 2009 season, and Jimmy Johnson. You see Chad Knaus, Jimmy's wife Chandra, enjoying the celebration as the 2009 NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion, his 4th consecutive championship, the first time that has ever been done in the 61-year history of NASCAR. Well, Jeff Hammond, I think leave it to Mark Martin, who said it simply but eloquently. This has been a big time.
It really has, Steve. I mean, I have had the fortune of being in Daytona originally, going to New York, and now here in Las Vegas. And I'm going to use a phrase that they like to use here. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, and all I can hope is that what's happened here tonight will continue to stay in Vegas for years to come, because it has been exciting, and I'm just proud to be a part of it, especially for the first time here on Speed.
As always, Jeff Hammond, a privilege to work with one of my best friends. Thank you very much.
Thank you, partner, always.
Chad Canals and Jimmy Johnson celebrating here for the fans. Fans, a part of the celebration here for the first time ever. And to all of you at home who have supported this sport and us on Speed, thank you so much, and happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everyone.